Beaver, away!
People to alias correctly, but it's also just like, was it the cast?
Okay,
Hi everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to ETF2L Season 14, brought to you by KritzKast. It's finally here, folks, the one we've been waiting for, the one that really matters, the grand finals. These teams truly fought tooth and nail to take the crown, but as we all know, there can only be one, and in one corner, the former three-time Premiership winning team, Strong Opinions. For the last two seasons, they've just fallen short of victory against their previous rivals, SDCK, Super Dickmans, whatever you want to call them, who in fact actually took third place, means this season, against the team who will be playing tonight, and that is none other than Feila eSports, who have not only made their debut in Prem playoffs this season, but have also got the potential to take their first Premiership title if all goes well for them tonight. My name is Chando. We have Wiethoofd on production tonight, and joining me is the NA casting legend himself, sigafoo. Now, sigafoo, I think it's safe to say that this isn't the grand finals everyone was quite expecting, but despite that, do you think we're in for a close match?
I definitely think we do. I mean, as you were talking about, Feila is a team that has kind of surprised people going into the finals, but even yourself, when we were talking in the pregame, you're discussing how they were kind of a dark horse, but a strong dark horse that you've played with and might even have a chance to prove the upset tonight. I mean, what do you think is about Feila that's going to give them the opportunity to potentially beat Strong Opinions here in the grand finals?
So I'd say this season, what's maybe separated them from the other top-ranking Premiership teams might be the fact that they seem to be the most keen team this season by far. I mean, the most keen team in the top three, at least. Joan, as a team leader and as a main caller, has always been incredibly passionate about his team, and he's always wanted to take them to victory. And you know, this is the first time that it's actually got a glimmer of hope of actually taking a proper Premiership title. They've been so keen, they're scrimming consistently, and it really does show. In previous games they've been playing, their synergy and their cohesion has been tremendous. Their DM has been, you know, on top of everything. Strong Opinions, a team that has kind of already gotten used to winning a lot. They've already had that experience, and I think that they're a lot more casual when it comes to their commitment to Highlander. So I don't think they scrim as much. I mean, not to say that they haven't got a shot at this. You know, they got some insane players, an insane roster with a lot of history together. But will it be enough? I don't know. I think Feila, the underdogs, as you put it, and I think that, you know, they, as a result of that, they're going to be, you know, tenfold more keen to take this victory.
And even some of the players, I mean, I recognize some of the faces, obviously Strong Opinions, long-standing top-tier lineup, but I believe, wasn't Cloudy on Strong Opinions in the past? He's now playing for Feila?
Yeah, that's right. He's a played formerly with Strong Opinion, won with Strong Opinions, in fact got Sniper of the Season with Strong Opinions, so at the time was the best sniper in European Highlander, I safe to say, and still definitely one of the best. I mean, he's going to be up against Boar tonight, who I think has brought a whole new world of fear to European Highlander. He's just absolutely incredible. He's working through the ping difference as an NA player, and I definitely think Cloudy's going to have a run for his money. But there's no doubt that Cloudy still one of the best, and the fact that Joan was able to pick him up for his team has certainly, I think, contributed to them doing so well this season.
Yeah, one interesting note about Cloudy, I actually talked to him the season that they won, that he actually won the season of the Sniper of the Season award. And one thing that he actually talked about, it'll be interesting seeing him go up against Boar, was that he mentioned that he looked at American snipers a lot to develop his play style, because he was kind of talking about how European snipers tend to go for a lot of headshots or go for sniper v sniper duels, and he just goes for anybody he can see. He tries to go for body shots when he can. Like, he has no shame. He just wants to get damage out there, because getting a key pick doesn't mean just taking down the sniper. It really can be taking down anybody. So watching that sniper v sniper duel, even with Boar on 143 ping, should be a great one. But coming into here, it's kind of a shorter playoff run coming to the grand finals. It's just basically the semifinals and then the grand finals. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, this time, as you say, there was just the semis and the grand finals. I think in the past they've tried to mix things up by having like a two-tier knockout elimination system. But I think for simplicity's sake, it's quicker and easier just to get it. I mean, get the semis out the way and then move on to the to the finals. So the top ranking team, which was Strong Opinions, would go straight to the finals, while the respectively the second and third would battle out in the semis, and that's what we saw last week with SDCK against Feila. And I mean, I think that brings on to a very good sort of point, was that, like, I don't think many people were expecting Feila to take such a swift victory against SDCK, who, you know, formerly have won the past 2 Premiership titles, and have, you know, for the past basically year, I suppose, have been on top of the game in terms of Highlander in the European scene. So I think it's quite remarkable and very astounding to Feila that they've gotten this far, and I'm sure that they'll be proud of, you know, whichever outcome.
Well, and I think that kind of speaks to it a little bit what you're talking about before, and kind of how they've gotten to this point. I think it's a really nice reminder for people out there. Is like, there are going to be the big dogs who are at the top of the game, who are going to consistently be at the top of the game, which is Strong Opinions, SDCK. But the thing is that, you know, they can get a little bit relaxed when they're on top, and if a team puts in the time, puts in the effort, and really goes for it, they can take themselves all the way to the grand finals, where we see Feila right now, and potentially in a good position to do this, as we can talk a little bit about the maps. Because one interesting thing about this grand finals is this is probably the first grand finals I've ever seen in Highlander where there's no payload that's going to be played. It's going to be purely 5CP and Koth. Do you think that stands well for one team or the other? Or what do you kind of see with these map picks?
Well, I mean, I think that both teams have picked their maps very cautiously to their playstyles, and also they've actually banned their maps to the other team's sort of preference. So I mean, you know, first, as everyone can see, it's CP Process. That was a pick by Strong Opinions, and I think it's pretty clear from previous games in the season and from what I've seen in scrims that Strong Opinions, a very good CP team. They've got some very good momentum, and they know how to, you know, carry that momentum forward, because that can be one of the hardest things about CP, is, you know, it's too easy to stalemate it. So and at the same time, while they can push forward and take space when they need to, they're very good at stopping the game as well, and that works very well for their playstyle. They're very good at just holding back, holding off on a point where they're 2 points up, for example. They don't need to push. They don't need to jeopardize that. So I think that they picked that with that in mind. Second pick was Joan for Feila. He picked Coalplant. Very strong Feila map. It's not a mainstream map, and that's why I think they've invested so much time into it, because they needed to, you know, in order to start beating these top teams, they need to try and specialize in some of the maps that are newer, not so much played on the off season, and I think they've pretty much planned that from the get-go, and they've done very well in it. Their Coalplant strategy is some of the best I've seen, period. And then capping it all off, this is going to be the decider, is Koth Product, a very common King of the Hill map for Highlander, played for several seasons now. And I genuinely think that one could go either way. You know, it comes down to a mixture of DM, being able to push together and stuff like that. So it definitely could go either way. It depends on what team's going to be warmed up, and it's going to have some good coordination. And I'm gonna predict it's going to go to about best of 3. We're going to see Strong Opinions take the victory on their first map pick on Process. Feila eSports going to take the victory on Coalplant, just because they're so experienced in it compared to the other teams currently. And then Products, anyone's game.
Well, hopefully it will be anyone's game. I mean, we'll see as we get started out here on CP Process. We currently do have 18 live into the server, so as Highlander is always a little bit delayed, so hopefully we will see this get started up pretty soon. But kind of looking at these teams, and I'm just looking at the league table from this season, it's like very clear where the top tier of the talent is and where it's now. Actually, interestingly enough, so the Strong Opinions just barely won Season 14, or at least finished in the top place, I should say. They haven't won yet. With 25 points, SDCK was right behind them with 24, so only 1 point difference between the first and second place team. And then Feila was at 19 points, so only about 5 more points behind. But the next one, Envision, down all the way with only 9 points, so a 10-point difference there. So kind of a shocking, you know, kind of a gap between, you know, the top half and the bottom half. But, you know, Feila, they've been a team that's been around for a while. How long has Feila actually kind of been a team that's been together, and where have they kind of come from? Were they started as a high team, or were they formed in Prem?
Ooh, well, that would have to trace back a long way before I was even familiar with the Highlander game mode. Now, I'm pretty sure they're one of the oldest teams in the season in Prem at the moment. Going back, if I'm not mistaken, to around season 4 or 5.
Yeah, it looks season 5.
Season 5, and I think that they've mostly played at fairly high division. They played in Premiership. I think they took a season in High as well, and season 11, where they made 3rd place, I do believe. And then they've moved back up to the Premiership tier. And yeah, I mean, they've kind of sat around in the mid to lower regions of Prem now for a while. So it's great. It's very good commitment from them. I mean, led by Joe and Layla. Power couple, really. They're very, very strong unit together. They only play together, both Sixers and Highlander, and that's good. And they make for a good leadership. So every season they come back keen and ready to go. And this season it's finally worked off for them. They've spent a long time in the sort of middle bracket of Prem, in that kind of not quite being relegated, but not quite being able to make the playoff spots. So it's really great to see that they've got an opportunity now.
And we'll see what they can do with that opportunity. And kind of, looking at these different rosters, you talked a lot about Feila, but, just looking over the roster of Strong Opinions, who are their kind of standout players? I mean, we talked a little bit about Boar already, but I mean, I guess who's going to be the players you're going to see stepping up tonight?
We've seen a few major players from Strong Opinions. Notably, I mean, Toast, their spy, one of the best, if not the best, spy in European Highlander at the moment, and he has been for a long time. Racked up about 5 awards for Spy of the Season and Player of the Season in the past few seasons. So basically every single award show he gets something. So he's consistently playing at the top of his game. Very good at just a general multi-purpose, good aiming, good knife mechanics, very good team player. So he's kind of ticking all the books. I already mentioned Boar, but another one I want to mention is Funds. Will be their scout. He's a player that's just consistently has been shooting up. Mostly a Sixers player, and you can see how well he's gone. And in a fairly short space of time, he's now playing practically the top of Prem. And that's going to transmit, especially on a map like CP Process, into this match tonight. So I'd say that those are the 3 main ones to look out for. Obviously, you've got Adiski as well, another good Sixes demo man, playing around the top Prem region for a long time, so very good potential from him. And again, this map's only going to benefit those Sixes players, I would say.
And we'll see what that works for them. And kind of, we can switch a little bit over to Feila on the same question: is who are the players for Feila that need to step up tonight to kind of create this upset to take down Strong Opinions?
So one thing I've sort of seen, I suppose, in the past season has been their Feila's pick classes have been playing at the top level. I mean, I already mentioned Toast as being one of the best spies in Europe. I would say that Mezzo is well on his way to becoming one of the best as well. Far less experience than Toast. He has only played 1 season in Prem beforehand with Feila again. So this is only his 2nd season in Prem, and he's made it to the grand final. So, big kudos to him. But he's been playing so well, getting the necessary picks needed to just kind of that enables Feila to make a push, get some momentum going. He's very, very good pick class, and likewise Cloudy as well, playing so well. We already talked about the snipers in some depth already, but again, very, very consistently high ranking sniper. And finally, I would have to say Joe, the team leader, demo man, main caller. He's got it all. He's got very good main calls. Very, very loud and to the point, and he's good at getting his team doing a strategy that he's made up. He's got some very good strategy. He's got very good brain for Highlander, and he's very good at getting his team to follow orders and stuff like that. And it works wonders on maps like CP Steel, where it's very strategy based. And it's not just his main calling abilities. His DM is still easily at the top level, top 3 demo men, clearly, as he's already into the grand finals now.
Yeah, so we'll see what they want to do. Is these guys are taking their time. It's always Highlander though. It's always the Highlander way of being able to do this, because I'm just eager to see this, and what it comes down to, as you kind of have talked about. It's going to be just such a close match. It feels like Feila, can they kind of overcome where they started out? But we can talk a little bit about just Highlander and kind of how it's evolved since the Pyro update, because I'm not as familiar with it. One thing I'm kind of curious about is, obviously, especially in Europe, the spies, they typically they were gun spies. They ran the ambassador with the Deadbringer, the very fun combos. We have 90 seconds until we go live. Just real quick, just kind of curious, what are the changes you've seen since the Pyro update about how classes play?
I mean, you really hit the nail on the head with that one. The spy changes were probably the most significant, I'd say. Definitely haven't seen much ambassador work. I mean, there's still a lot of gun spy action, but it is through the revolver. I mean, I think the revolver's it's an insanely powerful weapon. But it's got very good speed, very good damage up close and stuff like that. So, I mean, there's really no reason not to use it still. But with that in mind, we have seen a drawback to a more knife-style play, which... make of that what you will, really. I mean, some people love it, some people hate it. I'm personally happy to see Spy going back to its more knife-orientated roots. I think it's a lot more team play is being seen as well, and that's only a good thing, I do believe. And apart from that, changes, I mean, the Pyre update, you think the Pyre has changed. I haven't seen huge changes particularly. I suppose the new weapons haven't really been brought into play yet, so maybe when the Dragon's Fury comes in, we're going to see a completely different attitude to Pyro, more as a DM class, less of a support role. But until I assume we'll be having some sort of test cup. But here we go, guys. We are now going live. Long have we waited. The Highlander Season 14 Grand Finals, Strong Opinions versus Feila eSports, and on CP Process. We're going to be checking out these rollouts now. Who's going to be first to mid? Yes, it is going to be Disky, the Sixers Demo Man. They're just trying to put out some spam. They're getting there so much quicker than everyone else. And now the Soldier's starting to get up to their funds, taking that high ground. And we can see the first pick is going to go from Boar straight on to Layla. A brilliant first pick there. Now the bomb comes in from the Soldier there. Manages to take down middle the Feila Soldier. Now it's just going to be Strong Opinions making very good aggression. As Boar also picks off Cloudy. Mezzo goes down along with Rayon. No one is even falling for Strong Opinions. That is going to be an easy first midpoint, opened up by some insane picks from Boar there.
You're hoping that they'd be able to do something else, but yeah, honestly, it's just Boar. He takes him down. There's really nothing else really to say. A nice bomb coming in from the Soldier to kind of open up and not allow Feila to be able to advance at all. And the second point is going to go down very easily here for Strong Opinions as they get ready to go into this final point. Boar is suiciding and going for a miracle play, but looks like Strong Opinions just wants to work off their advantage.
Definitely, yeah, they're wasting no time. Uber straight out. Middle goes down along with Poker. Some big damage dealers going down there. It's going to be the Spy trying to get onto the point, but he's not. He's actually disguised and isn't able to block it. And yeah, I mean, that was such a quick first point. What was that? That must have been only about a minute or something like that. I mean, that was just incredible. Minute 30. Holy moly. I mean, yeah, we can really see why Strong Opinions is picking a map like CP Process. You can see how good they are at momentum and opening up those frags with Boar, just absolutely unstoppable. As we go into the next mid fight here, a little bit less aggression this time from the Demo Men, pulling back a little bit. Middle playing that high ground spot. Feila actually able to hold some high ground more now here, which we didn't see before. And a little bit slower than last time. Finally, Cloudy gets that pick onto Boar, so we're not going to see the troubles from last time repeating themselves. Feila actually able to get a little bit more space here. Poker gets shut down, however, by Dima as he tries to go for the pack there. But Carl getting taken down. Zamparonie and Crayon as well. Cloudy getting some good picks as well there. Cloudy really doing a lot better job than last time. But they are going to have to back out. Layla and Joe backing out through sewers there as Funds came in and cleaned up two players. Layla actually getting taken down by Toast as well. As they were backing out, so we can see that revolver action as we were talking about in the pregame there, still incredibly powerful.
Yeah, really those mid-fights seem to be coming down from, though Boar got taken out, I think Dima's being a really big nuisance for into Feila from Strong Opinions. The Soldier, because he's just playing so passive, he's just putting out damage nonstop. He's not suiciding in, he's not going in for a bomb where he's going to die. He just sits back, does consistent damage, and it's just stopping Feila from being able to push out, as the second point's not even going to be contested from Feila. I think they learned from the last time. In the first time we saw Feila, they tried to keep people in after they lost Layla. Now it just gets set up, get that final point going on. Mezzo actually gets a nice kill on the Boar, so no sniper, no picks are going to be coming out here, but Strong Opinions does have a 60% Uber, so there's no reason for them not to try to make an advantage off that.
Certainly not, and here comes the Uber out. Carl gets backstabbed as the Uber gets popped out, but Cloudy and Mezzo both go down in return. Fairly good Uber, they've taken up a lot of space, but they can't get onto the point, and now the Uber's faded. Zamparonie going to get picked onto Synrise, and Crayon going to clean up CJ, so that's going to be a big advantage now for Layla, and definitely opening up some possibility to push out there, and exactly, they're going to go out of rollout here. Got to start getting some damage out. Deal with that mini sentry as they do. Joan goes in nice and deep, manages to take down Boar. However, gets backstabbed himself, but not before he takes down the Disky. So fairly good trade there. Managed to take down some two incredibly powerful classes. And yeah, they're going to be able to back out of last now and take up the second point. They might have to slow down a little bit though. I mean, Joan waiting for the respawn there, but they still have that 70% Uber advantage, so they can definitely make a push off this if they can push soon enough once Joe's up.
Yeah, they just need to get that Demo Man ready to go. I mean, the big problem that happened with Strong Opinions on that push into the final point was they just were so confined in where they pushed from, and that allowed Feila to push out. But it looks like when you see Feila push in here, using their aggression, using that Uber, and it's going to be popped out onto Joan as well as the Crayon, who pushes across the point. The Soldier is all the way out, and Strong Opinions wisely is just going to give this up. But they're going to be able to leapfrog back into this point with 84%. They're going to be ready to go in just a few seconds.
Absolutely. I mean, now Feila will need to play back a little bit, bait in the push, and try and waste some of that Uber. Either that or just slow the game down so that they can equal that Uber and then go from there. But no, they are going to be pushing out from PC. That jumping from a Disky doing loads of damage, taking down Joan and Crayon. And then Funds is going to clean up to take down Strono, and a reflect from synrise takes down middle. So many picks for Strong Opinions there, and they can now get the ball rolling. Layla, however, was actually able to back out there, so they're going to hold on to a small Uber advantage, but not too much. She hasn't been healing that much at all. And they got so many picks, they're able just to push straight in and more or less easily take down. Look at that sticky trap onto Strone. Wow, he needs to be a little more aware of that maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can just see the kind of differences between these two teams. One who's really very experienced and one who's has a lot of playtime, but has Fun's actually on the point. Takes it down so much, and that's going to pop Strong Opinions just to push out. And the Disky just jumps onto the point. Big misplay coming out of Feila, just allowing Strong Opinion Scout to just walk onto the point and almost capture it for free.
There was some seriously rookie errors there coming in from Feila. I mean, just not watching the point. That Funds was able to take so much time onto there, and then they didn't even need to worry about getting picks at that point. Disky could just bomb in for the point and easily finish that off, taking it to a 2-0. Going to the next mid-fight now. Seeing some decent aggression coming in on the left side. Cloudy going to get down, however, by Boar, so potential opening up there. And the bomb comes in from Dima. Good some damage, good damage onto middle there, and they're getting completely carved up. They can't seem to get through. They can't push through Strong Opinions' front line there. They are just going to have to back up. They lose so many players. It's only going to be Strono and Joan getting out with their medic. And it's just not going to be enough. You know, sigafoo, like, what do you think they need to do to actually get that aggression? I can see it as they're lacking high ground a little bit, but is there anything you think that they could do to actually successfully push across that point?
I mean, it seems like they're kind of splitting their focus, trying to go to each side at the same time. Maybe if they just pushed strongly around the far right-hand side, and also just getting their spy into position to make a play. I think the spy is Mezzo right there in that last mid-fight. He was going a little bit too much for a gun spy. I think he would have got himself into position. Instead of going for, a pick on the combo, go for a pick on one of the flank classes. As I said, like Dima would have been a possibility. Maybe or just anybody else to get some pick to make the enemy team turn around, and that's going to allow you to push forward once they're distracted. Mezzo does pick up a backstab onto Boar right now, so you can see Feila's going to use that aggression, or not having to worry about walking into the sideline, and here comes out the overcharge from each team. Looks it's going to be a little bit better for the red side as Strono is doing a decent job pushing them back, and it's just going to be a fair trade here. No team really losing players. We'll see how they want to push off Uber after this.
Definitely, but it's a Disky's traps that are going to alter the game at the moment. Taking down Poker and Crayon, with the pipe taking down Cloudy as well. Now Funds is going to follow up and takes down middle. And Carl then cleaning up Joan. That's pretty much going to finalize things for Feila. They have to back out now with only 3 up. Layla was able to get out on a 30% disadvantage. You can see a Disky all the way back in last, along with Funds, who's able to take down Feila before getting picked off by Mezzo. But like, you can just see that aggression. This is what I've been talking about. Funds, aggressive plays along with the Disky followed up, and that momentum is just unstoppable at the moment.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's really smart, too, because it's like, if they die, it's not that big of a deal. They're going to get the respawns up not too far, you know, and they can be able to do this. But Layla just getting back up to life. Here comes an Uber charge from a Disky as well as with Carl. There's only 2 players forward right now, but they should be able to easily capture this. Carl's going down on point slowly, but they're being surrounded. The breaks are coming out. Disky gets taken down as well. And Strong Opinions, it was just such a weak push as a headshot comes out from Cloudy, taking down Funds. And it's only just a few players left alive. I thought, okay, they're going to do this kind of push in. They're going to be aggressive, but the problem is nobody else on Strong Opinions got that message. And a 3-player push into the final point against 9 is just not going to be enough, even with Uber advantage. And here they go, easily taking back the second point.
Yeah, it was a real shame to see that. I mean, Dima going in for the bomb, trying to get something of it. He's actually going to get out with his life, however. I mean, yeah, they're very easily able to just re-push that. And I don't know why they only committed 3 players. They must have known that the respawns were coming in for Feila there, so it's a questionable decision. They should have just stuck to pushing everyone in, but look at those picks coming in. Carl getting headshot at the same time a Disky gets stabbed there, so the pick glasses from Feila coming in with some good synergy there, and Dima getting denied by Poker there as he goes in for the bomb. They are going to be able to actually start pushing up now. Joan taking down Funds, doing some good damage there. They're going to be easily able to start capturing this point here. Now with Uber, CJ only 10% behind, however. Cloudy getting that pick onto Boar. Set going down as well. They can keep that ball rolling if they choose to, and I think they really should. They haven't got to worry about ball. They can get their medic in nice and deep into the second point now. And they've got to do something of it soon. Synrise getting taken down by Crayon. Poker's going to be walking in. Forces the Uber off, in fact, not before he takes down Carl, however. Toast taking down Strono. Poker going down as well in a trade there. But it looks like it's going to be pretty much just a stalemate kind of Uber there. However, in Crayon, in the post Uber, able to exchange onto CJ. Really good pick there. Now Layla just got to get out with her life, and she could be in for some good momentum.
Yeah, they do take down a Disky who was trying to bomb it to take down Layla. Funds now coming in from behind. It's going to be a 1v1. Gets the medic with just the last bullet, the engineer and demo man. Joan was not enough to be able to land the pipes needed to be able to take him out before his medic went down. So that's a very nice play out of Funds. The suicide coming out of Strong Opinions is enough to take down and keep these Ubers basically even, though I'm sorry, that's going to be CJ who's going to have a slight Uber advantage as he just came back up right now. But the hold is now going down as Toast is going on to Cloudy here in the backfield. But Cloudy, nice job keeping himself alive with the help of his scout. And it's going to see a little sniper v sniper action in here as we kind of come to our first real stalemate, kind of or kind of stagnation between these two teams, which has been a very fast-paced, close match.
Has indeed. It's not something that you'd expect from European Highlander on CP. Very used to slow, methodical approaches, especially from Strong Opinions, and they're 2 up now. So, they could technically just sit here, but they've got the picks, they've got the advantage. Joan went down to a good pick by Boar there. However, he was traded by Middle. But yeah, I mean, now they've almost got Uber, CJ on 90%, Layla only about 40 or so. The picks are coming in. Look at Funds on a 3k. Cloudy able to get a pick onto Sec, but that's not really going to change the flow of this mid-fight as they just storm across the point. Synrise on the cleanup, taking down Cloudy, taking down Poker as well, and he's not even stopping. Look at him, he's leading the charge there. Such an aggressive playstyle, but boy does it work. And yeah, they haven't even captured mid, and they're already secured second. You can see such strong momentum. Look at the Disky taking down Strono and taking down Zamparonie and someone else as well, I do believe. So many picks. He's just doing so well, completely for his team with damage.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems that, like, when Strong Opinions gets aggressive, they're just not dying, and they're getting aggressive again as they're going all the way to the final point here. We'll see if this is going to be the push that works out for them, as they're going to be fighting across the point. Uber does die out, but here comes Indima from the backside, but the Uber is going to be coming out for the defense. It seems like it's going to be enough as they get a couple picks, but they're completely spread out right now. Here comes back into Disky as well as with Funds, and no, Strong Opinions will take this final point, making it 3-0, and potentially 2 rounds away from winning this map cleanly.
Definitely, I didn't expect Strong Opinions to have such an easy time on CP Pros. I figured that they probably, it was their pick. I figured that they would have a good shot at taking this victory, but not quite as quickly. It's I'd say it's quite unusual in top tier Highlander to see a CP map go so quickly. Usually you see a little bit more stalemating, but interesting enough to cast at least. As we go into the next mid round here. Aggression from the same side on the left from Feila. It hasn't worked in the past. I don't know if it's really going to work now. However, the stab onto CJ might open things up. But look at the bomb from Dima. He's hungry for revenge. He's not going to get it. However, Layla backs out just with her life. However, she gets taken down by Boar. Carl as well, just storming forward now on a 3k. Just trying to deal with Joan, but Cloudy's going to pick him off before He can reach Joan there. Now it's just going to be Joe 1v1ing it. It's not going to be enough. He had to take on Funds. That was never going to work from the get-go there. And they've pretty much gotten this in the bag now for Strong Opinions. Cloudy will have taken down Funds there. But Adiski going to go behind? Or no, he's gonna back up there. Play it safe. But who is going behind? It's Sek, the engineer legend himself, just ran into their second and took down Cloudy. He was watching the choke point there. No one even noticed him coming through. And yeah, I mean, actually he's able to run in and take down middle as well. But Mezzo with the revolver pick onto CJ again is going to give Layla about a 40-50% advantage. More than enough to make a push out of it when they get that Uber there. They've really got to start getting the ball rolling if they want to reclaim this.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the pick classes are really going to be the people who need to step up in order for Feila to be able to do this. But the other big thing I want to see out of Feila is just making sure that when you see Funds or a Adiski getting aggressive into them, they need to be killed. They need to be focused down very quickly. But Feila, they're just going to start to push in here. CJ's just getting back to the front line, but this is not even having Uber as Toast behind. Distracts them as they're trying to push through the choke, but they're actually getting through here for free. Strong Opinions playing very passive, and this is the one thing that they tend to do well. I mean, they might lose this point, but they're not going to lose players. That's a big difference. Is when Feila loses a point, they tend to lose a lot of players in the meantime. But Strong Opinions, they have to be careful. They gave up that point, but Feila didn't have Uber. Now they do, so we'll see if they'll be able to roll this all the way into the second point.
It's definitely a chance here as Uber comes out. They're making good use of it, taking down Boar. CJ as well, going down to a nice sticky there by Joan. Good sticky placement indeed. Stronate picking up Dima, I think was going in for the bomb on the post Uber there to try and get that frag onto Layla. They can definitely make this. CJ not for another 5 seconds. That means no heals for Strong Opinions. They're walking straight in. Look at that, wasting no time. Crayon just starting to tickle the point there a little bit. And the stab onto Adiski, the pick onto Synrise. And yeah, I mean, that was pretty much almost certain victory for them there on that. I mean, they had a really good momentum. That's what we need to see more of. They basically pushed it from their second, getting some good picks, and then from there we're able to push into mid, capture the point, and then use that Uber into second, into their second, into the enemy second, get a good amount of picks, and then just use that momentum to go into last. We need to see more of that if Feila wants to win. And here comes the next map. It's not going to be a close one though, as Joan gets instantly fragged by Adiski there. 2 demos going balls to the walls, aggressive there. The bomb in from Dima is not going to take down Layla. In fact, she manages to play herself very well, but Cloudy managed to take down CJ. Ball going down as well. That's a revolver pick by Mezzo. They definitely could do this. Funds as well down. Everyone's really dispersed at the moment, sigafoo. This still could go either way.
Toast is going to be behind Poker. Should get the backstep. Finally, Carl's still alive with just barely a sliver of health, but it seems that Strong Opinions that mid. Dima, again, I think he's been a really big point about why they've been winning the mid fights. He went in for a suicide bomb. He died. Dima going all the way in. Huge bomb in. Carl and Dima are now currently behind Feila as they're working their way into the second point. They're just ignoring it, going all the way through here. Boar is trying to find a headshot, but not able to do that. And Feila, it looks like they're going to be able to get this point without even having to use their Ubers so far, but they have to keep Layla protected because it's just the 2 players, the Demo and the Scout, currently holding on the point. Here comes Dima, going in for a bomb and jumps onto Crayon, goes onto the medic, gets a rocket, puts Layla down to half HP, but she wisely does not pop, so this is going to be good for Feila, but only 30% advantage. They need to go in quickly.
Yeah, and it looks like they want to do it, but the drop! Sticky traps from Adiski. No one was watching. It's such a common trap as well. I think they still want to push in, though. There's no reason not to at this point. Boar and Toast both down. Adiski and Dima as well. They could definitely get in here. They're making good space. They're on the point now. Now they've just got to play that time there. They actually get the Uber out on them. Now can Poker finish him off? No, he cannot. He can't face up against that Uber charge there. But it's going to be Cloudy that gets the nice little shot onto CJ there and is able to equalize things for his medic. Now Layla about a 20% advantage, which is more than enough. And yeah, I mean, that was some really good aggression from them. And you know, you were saying about that mid fight, you know, Carl, I think he made a big error in trying to go behind there because he really jeopardized the defense onto second there. They didn't have a heavy, basically. He couldn't catch up to make a play. But here's Dima behind. This is someone who can make a play, and he does. Gets the pick onto Zamparonie there. He is still behind, just playing a bit of time there, just trying to bother them, waiting for the opportunity. But yeah, I mean, for now, Feila going to hold on to that second point, and with that Uber advantage, they can very well make use of it.
Yeah, we'll see what they want to do. They worked their way into the lobby area here, as you said, about, actually it's worked its way up to about a 40% advantage, which is very workable. But process can be a hard push to go into, especially when you lose Your demo man, Joan, getting taken out by Boar, maybe just peeking a little bit too aggressive in their hold style. I mean, there's nothing really to gain other than, you want to hold lobby to some degree, but you don't want to expose yourself. But they got 100%. They have the advantage. They're just going to try to work it out without the demo man, and here comes in the scout going up top as well as the pyro going onto the point to try to chase down, but they're going to run into this level 3 Stitch Gun Toast where this Mezzo dropping down onto it. Does get it, but it's actually Crayon who captures it. They're all so distracted that the scout was able just to walk onto the point for free, and we got a game here 2-3 as we come into our 6th mid-fight.
This is much more like a grand finals than it was about 10 minutes ago. When they were 3-0 up at one point, Strong Opinions, and it just looked like a GG for this map. No, they've clawed back. They finally regrouped a little bit. Playing a lot smarter now. They've chosen their ground wisely, and it's really paying off at the moment. Yeah, as you say, we've got an actual proper grand finals match. This is really one to remember, as Joan getting their first pick onto Synrise, and Toast as well getting picked up. Don't worry about those backstabs now. They can just focus forward, but now the frags is coming in favour of Strong Opinions. Loads of frags indeed. Carl now on a 3K, just picking off everything. They're tracking gods indeed. And Boar cleaning up Cloudy. Disky making a very aggressive bomb into their second now. He's leading the charge along with Dima. They're both going to be starting to make sure that they can just successfully take second. This is something that I don't think they've been able to do. Feila haven't been able to do quite as well there.
Once actually ran all the way back. I just want to say that he ran all the way back to the final point just to kill Layla there, as he just basically tracked her down like a hunting dog from the midpoint, just all the way back once able to get that kill. So that's going to be not only a sizable advantage that already existed for CJ, now it's going to be a 100% advantage as they are looking to come into this final point.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, that was such a good play. They're very good at chasing up the right frags at the right time. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some push soon. There it is, straight out of lobby. And Joe's going to go down. Layla as well. 2 essential picks there. Disky getting picked off in return, but the frags are coming in left, right, and center. Looks like it's more or less going in favor of Strong Opinions, though. Now Funs can start playing that point. No one's going to be able to do anything about it. It's just a heavy. Can't get there in time. He's too slow. He's too fat. And that's going to bring it up to 4-2 for Strong Opinions. This is looking a little bit more comfortable now for them.
I kind of wonder if Feila should just not play mid-fights. Like, they're losing the mid-fights every single time. They haven't won a single one. I think, they won the one where they kind of got lucky, where I think Strong Opinions just kind of misplayed themselves. But every time they lose a mid-fight, they tend to lose it. If they lose it very badly, they're going to lose that round. That's how they've lost at least 2 of them so far. I'm kind of curious if maybe they just play this very passive, don't try to really get anything aggressive, and just play out from there. But Boar, again, getting an early headshot onto Cloudy, and going to be Poker going down. Actually, no, Dima gets taken out there, but the frags are coming out in the favor of Strong Opinions, it would seem, as one more goes out, is, again, included middle, just suiciding his body in there. I'm not exactly sure why Layla did get taken out there early on, though, as I believe CJ went down as well, so both mechs getting traded out, but once again, Strong Opinions coming down with the mid.
Yeah, they've got that really good aggression just spot on there. Dima making a very quick and clean bomb onto Layla, and was able just to pick her off with just one solid direct hit there. And that really opened up potential for Strong Opinions just to start steamrolling across the point there and take the victory. And now they want to get into second, as you can see. However, as you said, CJ went down roughly at the same time as Layla, so that is going to make things a little bit more difficult. But Joan going down is going to open up possibility along with Crayon. They could start getting in here now, and you can see that Feila playing a little bit further back in the PC area here. You can see that they're on the defensive a little bit, as Funds just walks straight in. Actually does take down Layla. My apologies. Oh my lord. Just runs straight in. Poker can't react quick enough. And that's an insane plays from Funds there, as the crits comes out and to take down Joan. That's about it. Now the counters are coming back in, and the reflect onto middle as he bombed in. Synrise showing off that pyro versatility as the class just completely denies that counter jump there.
I feel like that might have been a crits reflect, even like he accidentally got flash at the same time, and so it's just that much more powerful. And we can see CJ on the crits creek is going to have that advantage to go into this final point. Maybe this will kind of help them. I mean, they kind of have struggled when they don't have the complete advantage from the final point, being able to push in the last, but actually Feila, they're not playing passive. They're pushing out of this ramp side, as Funds is actually going in onto the final point, trying to see if he can get a cheeky back half like he has in the past, but he's just going to come back, take down included middle, getting a little bit too aggressive for his team. Is actually CJ getting gunned down. Mezzo stepping up once again. So this is going to be a nice advantage in the favor of Feila, and it's going to give them a chance to push out.
Absolutely. They're going to have to start playing more aggressive now if they want to realistically reclaim this map. Only 7 minutes left now. So, you know, if they want to make something of it, they've got to take every opportunity they can. Pick onto ball might even open things up. Yes, it is. They can see that they want to get out. They're going to be pushing out from the lobby area, going down as well. So they got the picks. And, yeah, they can start taking some space. They're pushing out a lower lobby, using that Uber to successfully get out. And Joe's going to be leading the charge there. The back cap's coming in. It's off toast. No one could react to it quick enough, and yeah, it's going to take it into a 5-2. If someone was supposed to be watching that there, I assume so. They had a sniper there who couldn't react to it quick enough, and I wouldn't have maybe picked a sniper to hold last. But yeah, I mean, that's making it 2-5 now. So sigafoo, would you say this is pretty much a done deal for this map?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is, in order for you to come back, you're going to have 3 straight rounds of sub 2 minutes, which is, I mean, it's happened. I mean, Strong Opinions did the first round in a minute and a half, but that's because they've been so decisive during these mid-fights. I mean, I think here, you just try to aim at getting one more round. It's not about winning this map anymore. It's just about kind of coming away with some sort of victory, but you're not going to get one with Dima. Beautiful bomb, and picks up 2 with the help of Boar, taking down the medic. And so CJ is going to be alive, but actually Feila, look at this aggression. They're so high up, and what I love is that mid-fight is that though Dima took them out, Feila did a really good job at maintaining the high ground on that middle point, so they lost their medic, but they're going to win the mid, which is not typical, but it's working out for them. Dima going in for a bomb in, gets killed off there. Probably could have waited a little bit longer, but I suppose this game's pretty much wrapped up, but I mean, this is going to give them a chance technically. They can do this. They're down Uber advantage, but they just need to get aggressive because that's all they have left.
Definitely, I mean, yeah, as you say, like, all they've got is to go aggressive and hope for the best. Getting that pick onto Disky and Dima down as well, that's going to open up a lot of things. The Mezzo pick onto CJ, everything's up even more so, and now they can start pushing forward, using that momentum. They don't have anything, you know, Ball went down funds as well. They can push straight in here now, it would be doable. They might opt to wait, but they might as well push. I mean, as you say, they're not blessed for time, so they don't want to go in straight away. Be led by Crayon. Poker pushing up on that on that left side, sorry, and Strone getting all the frags needed there. And yeah, it's going to take it into a 5-3. They could still be done. Sigafoo, could still be done.
I mean, that round took about a minute and 20 seconds, like something like that, because they have a minute 33 left on the clock. So, I mean, if they can do this over and over again, we'll see what they can do. They need to win these mid-fights. That's the only necessity. They lost Layla in the last one, but they were still able to come out with such an incredible round time. We'll see what they can do in this next one. And it's actually going to be Joan who's going to come out to this mid-fight first. Gets actually a nice sticky onto Disky, who's going to play a little bit passively now because of that low health. Crayon taking the high ground as Fun is trying to push around the right-hand side. Toast gets taken out there early on from Joan as snipes are coming out from east side. Borg got headshot, but is still able to keep his life as the engineer is keeping up that high ground. Here comes Dima onto the combo, takes down the demo, pops up the medic, but goes down. Ultimately, Strong Opinions is slowly working across the point as Boar picks up one more. Included middle does take him down as engineer gets taken out as well, but they're not giving this up. Feila is fighting for it, but Carl with a nice tracking takes down the scout, pushing onto him. Poker gets taken out as well, and Strong Opinions is going to come down with this as Funds gets his little extra piece, tracking down Layla once again, taking her down. So this is going to give CJ the round, but this is pretty much going to be a game. They needed that in order to win 2 rounds straight.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, you could see, I think that was one of their better mid-fights. You could see there was the denial onto Dima. They knew he was coming. He's done it for the past, like, at least 2 rounds I've been watching. And he did it again, and he actually this time got denied a little better, but was still able to get the pick onto Joan. But I think, you know, one of the bigger problems is the fact that they keep playing the same side. They keep playing their left side. They need to switch it up a little bit. Try and push around onto that right. Because it gets so predictable. They knew exactly where Layla was every time. But Mezzo's going to go in and get that backstab onto board. Joe going to get traded down. They want to repush here. They might as well. All for the logs at this point and all that. And this actually seems to be working in their favour. Disky and Carl both go down. Toast as well. I don't know why they weren't using these, you know, raw aggressive plays sooner, because they can work wonders, honestly, as there's only 3 up now for Strong Opinions.
Yeah, but here comes the overcharge on to Funds, going for the medic. Layla eats 1 meat, trying to find the deli right there, but Layla is actually keeping her life against Funds somehow, some way. Finally gets taken out as Cran back behind the point, takes down Dima, and looking to take down more. CJ went down as well to Cran, and the point went actually down in the favor of Feila, but with Strong Opinions just bleeding players into here, yeah, this is going to be a pretty easy point to retake. As with just a couple minutes left on the clock here, I mean, we can kind of talk about just in the big picture. You know, coming into this, are you underwhelmed, or do you think Feila met expectation with this 3-5 scoreline, or where do you think they kind of fall into this as we are finishing up on this first map?
First, I was heavily underwhelmed by Feila's performance. In the first 3 rounds, they just were straight up losing. They were barely capturing any points. All their pushes were pretty distinctive failures, and their defense was easily broken. However, they were able to, come back very well, bringing it up to a 3-2. So, they were playing very well. I think they definitely started playing with a lot better synergy and cohesion, a lot more aggressive as well. I think that was what they needed, just way more aggressive plays. You can see that Strong Opinions were just playing so aggressive in some situations. You can see it now, for example, just that raw aggression, any reason to push and they'll do something with it, and it really does work. I think if they could have done that a little sooner, they wouldn't have lost those 3 first points, and we could have had a closer game. Still, though, I always would have said this was Strong Opinions' top map. They were very eager to pick it, and you can see that. If anyone was aware of the bans, Joan instantly banned Gully Wash, so you can see it's both Strong Opinions' best game mode, I'd say, and it might well be Feila's worst game mode, CP. So there's very good reason for Strong Opinions to be winning here. You can see how well they've been playing in comparison to Feila, but the next map will be Coalplant, and I've seen how they play, and it's very, very good strategy and aggression from Feila, so we might be seeing a different story there.
Yeah, it'll be curious, as we did see just their Strong Opinions picking up one more round, just a victory round with 22 seconds left and the clock ticking down. But we can kind of already start to look at the logs here, and I think the big part of that game, and we were talking about before the game, and talking a little bit about funds, but really it just seemed like funds in a Diski's game. That's really what won it. I think there was problems out of Feila. They were holding too aggressively at times, maybe lost too many players, but it just seemed like whenever funds and a Diski would get aggressive, they rarely got punished for it. And you can see that in the logs where funds top fragging for his team, 36 kills, a Diski right behind him with 31, and then Carl following suit. I didn't really notice him too much, but it must be just because he was killing so many people, just pushing into his combo. And that's the other thing out of Feila is just at times I just saw included middle, just randomly, seemingly bombing in. It wasn't really clear what is going on. Just they're trying to make plays, but you need to make plays together if you're going to be able to step up there. But the other thing that's stepping up is Mezzo. He was actually 4th fragging, 28 frags. The Spy going to town there, and doing that on a 5 CP is pretty impressive. So I can only expect we'll see more out of Mezzo coming into a Koth map where Spies can be even more effective. But looking at these logs, what are the kind of storylines you're seeing just out of the stat lines?
Well, I did mention funds in the pregame, how devastating he can be, how much of a absolute hit scam beast he's become in a short amount of time. So I'm not surprised to see him doing so well. I think that they play around him a lot. You can see a lot of the Ubers with Strong Opinions are built on their Scout and a Diski, following up on it. So you can see why they came up on top. If we look at the hill spreads, funds 13%, which actually isn't as much as I thought, but still getting a good amount of hills. So you can see that he's taking a lot of Ubers in. He's getting that momentum and the space needed, which can be so vital. So you can see why he got so many kills there. A Diski pounding the damage as well there, 470 DPM. Crayon, though, admirable effort. I think he did very well considering the team itself wasn't always in the best of situations. Coming in at 25 to 19 with 237 DPM. So yeah, it's pretty respectable, I'd say. And as you already mentioned, Mezzo absolutely went on his way to being one of the best, and I think these logs kind of prove that in many ways.
One interesting thing I'm noticing is just kind of looking at the differences between each. I think Crayon had moments where he's stepping up, but he definitely didn't look like he was doing that badly. But looking at these stats, about 2,000 damage more by funds. But one that's interesting is Poker versus Carl. Carl only had about 1,000 and change, over about 1,500 damage more than Poker, but he has 20 more kills. That's insane. And I think it's kind of interesting that it's that much. So Poker only had 11. and we see Carl at 29. So about 20 more frags in the favor of Carl, despite only about 1,500 more damage. And I think that kind of just speaks to also just maybe the playstyle out of, because Carl's not at the front lines. He's not getting kills at the front lines. I think that actually just speaks to how much Feila was kind of suiciding in towards, the team of, Strong Opinions, and it just really wasn't working out for them. So, I'll be curious to see what happens on a Koth map, how that changes. Obviously the respawn waves and all that's just a little bit different, but yeah, I think we need to see Poker step up a little bit, or maybe just I can't. It's like one of these things. Was Poker playing well and people were just feeding to Carl, or did Carl just have a great game? Obviously, Carl's a fantastic North American player, but that's also one that kind of stands out to me. It'll be curious now that we're not just in the big thing too is these stats are going to be a little bit, one-sided, just purely because, like, once you lose a mid-fight, your stats for that round are going to be terrible, with Strong Opinions, the way they were playing it so aggressively. So now that we kind of play a map, which is going to be a Koth map, it's going to be Coalplant, which was picked by Feila, it's going to be curious to see if it's going to be a little bit more back and forth, if we're going to see a little bit more even logs, because it's even ground. You're playing the same map. It's a mirror map. It's it's not you lose 1 point and you're playing from second. Like this is all there is, and can lead to some really intense action.
I absolutely hope so. You were saying like about Carl in comparison to Poker. What I saw quite a lot was, especially on the mid fights, it just seemed that like people were running into Carl, and that's one thing you never want to run into a revved up minigun. It was very questionable. You'd see players like Middle and Crayon, kind of just like at the end of the mid engagement, when it was clearly in favor of Strong Opinions, and you see these players, they just sort of just make a beeline for something. I think they just run in and try and do something, and often they'd end up point blank at Carl's Tomislav, and it's never going to end well from there. I think that's why he was able to get damage. Well, not so much damage, but so many frags in was those mid fights. I saw several times him getting 3-4 kills every mid game because people were trying to be aggressive at the wrong times there, and it was not working out for Feila. Poker didn't have that same issue there. He either went down quite early on in the mid fights, or the rest of his team was down, and no one seemed to be. People just avoided him. I think that was the correct play. Is that you want to try and be smart when you try and take down a heavy. Try and put the damage in from close from long range. Sorry. Try and make sure you get several different players to engage him at once, and so that he can't single you down. And you shouldn't have any trouble taking him down. I think that's where the difference lies. Carl wasn't being focused in the same respect that Poker was.
Yeah, no, I can definitely agree with that. So we'll see what's as we get transition over here to Coalplant. We have 18 players ready to go, just kind of figuring out what sides they want to play on. But this is going to be match point in favor of Strong Opinions. If they win this map, it's going to be it. That's it. They're once again grand champions. And if Feila is able to win the map that they selected, which is Coalplant, the one we're playing on here, that'll make it 1-1, and we'll go into product. So we'll go to back-to-back Koth maps, which might favor Feila ultimately. If Feila is able to take this down, they're winning on Koth maps. We'll see if that's going to work out in their favor. It'll be curious to see kind of the different players that need to step. I think we'll see a lot more Boar, stepping up here. But the one thing with Boar is that because, particularly Boar and Carl, they're North American players, and Coalplant is not really played in North America anymore. So I wonder if they're going to be maybe a little bit weaker just because they're not as familiar with this. But, you kind of talked about in the pregame, this is a map that Feila practiced a lot because they wanted to kind of get good at a map which isn't traditionally played.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Coalplant hasn't really been, I think it's played for a few seasons on and off, but in the off season and when people are generally scrimming, it's not really played that much. It's kind of like same as Steel, I suppose, in many ways, maybe the same as Borneo. When that was played, teams would play it when they had to. They'd play it in the week that it was been playing the group stages, and then they wouldn't really expect to play it ever again. And I think like there's kind of one of the similar maps there. And actually, interestingly, in Feila's history, their best maps have always been those kind of unorthodox ones. They were traditionally very good at Borneo, from my recollection, and they're very, very, very good at Steel indeed. As we know, in the semi-finals, taking very, very quick rounds against SDCK, and these are the maps that aren't really popular usually. Most teams will try their best to bend them or to avoid them in the group stages, and definitely to avoid them in scrims, because they're either not as fun or just not as popular, so you don't expect to play them. And Feila comes in, and now they are saying, no, we are going to play these. And prime example, grand finals, Coalplant, and I think it's working in their favour. It's a good strategy. You know, if you can't beat them in terms of DM, you beat them in terms of your map picks. You've got to be strategic about it, and they definitely have been. They put a lot of effort into these maps, and definitely commend that.
Now, I'll be curious to see what kind of strategies they employ off this. They are live in real time, so 90 seconds until we go into the second map. Be match point, as I said, 4 strong opinions, figuring out who's going to be the grand champion here, or if we'll need to go to another map. I'm definitely looking forward to this. And, you know, the nice thing about last map is, despite the aggression and the success out of strong opinions, it was not an easy map for them to win consistently. It seemed like when Feila failed, Strong Opinions was able to capitalize that all the way to the final point, but this is not a map you can do this. You win a mid-fight, great. You still have 3 minutes you have to contest this point. There's 3 minutes for them to be able to fight back onto this. And so I think we'll see a lot more back and forth, and when we saw matches going back and forth, it almost seemed to benefit Feila, and it almost that's when they won the rounds. It's when they were the ones that were tightly contested, when they really had to kind of fight for it. So I'm definitely excited to see on this map and kind of who steps up and what they do with this, and will Disky and Funds be able to be what they, or be as strong as they were before? Because this map is also really big for the flank classes. You're going to see the soldier and scout. It's so easy for them to go for flanks, to get behind, be a nuisance, and when you're talking about Funds being able to get behind, that's going to be a difficulty. But here we go, we're going live, and I'll let you take away to the first mid fight.
Right, so here we are, ladies and gentlemen, the second map of the ETF2L Season 14 Premiership Grand Finals. And here we go. It's going to be Coalplant. Looking at the rollouts here, Joan actually probably getting there slightly quicker. The aggressive play from Feila. Interestingly, playing on the left side there, which is basically never really done by any other team that I've seen. But is it working that well? Poker getting taken down by a Disky there. Seem very eager to actually start taking any space there. Middle going down. Funds as well. In fact, Joe finally starting to get some time on point. And they're trying their best to deny it. Ceejaey actually getting taken down by Zamparonie, of all people. And he's actually able to take down Carl as well. So the engineer putting out the bulk of the damage. And Boar as well going down in the after game there. It's only going to be a Disky. He's playing a little bit out of his depth perhaps, but he's now getting backed up by Funds. Dima, however, getting taken down by Cloudy, sorry. Now Poker going to be pushing forwards, and he's very good at denying the point, not overextending too much, and just trying to chip in when he needs to. And you can see that playstyle by him. However, Boar actually taking down Joan there might open up for a push, but the trade onto a Disky pretty much closes that off. Bomb from middle, not going to do that much. Counter bomb from Dima, again not going to do that much. Just back and forth. Really nothing happening too much here, sigafoo.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Strong Opinions is finally going to be able to work across the point, but here comes out the Uber charge onto Poker as well as Strono. They're going across only 67% right now for Ceejaey, so they don't have enough to contest this, but Dima over the top, going for Layla, only able to get one rocket landed, as she will be able to surf her way out through the exit. And it looks like Joan's gonna try to contest this, or go all the way back, maybe try to find Ceejaey, go for a suicide bomb. Ceejaey going down to half HP, gets the final sticky underneath of his feet, and that's gonna give the advantage back to Layla, as she's at 25%. And the other nice thing is that Ceejaey went down when they controlled the point, so that means his respawn is gonna be twice as long to get back up. And we can see Feila using their medic advantage to already push in. Here comes in Dima, takes down the sniper, but that's all he's gonna get, as Boar picks up one more, but the point should go back in the favor of Feila.
Absolutely, yes. They're very good strategy, playing off that advantage, playing off the fact that Ceejaey would be down for quite a considerable amount of time there. Now they're going to be holding back a little bit, just a little passive, making sure Layla's going to get that Uber there. She's now on 90%, sorry. And yes, they can definitely contest this once they get it. 95 now. She's falling weak. They're getting closed out. Finally, the Uber comes out there. It's going to go on to Strono. Joan following up as well. Good denial there. They actually lost the point there briefly, but they want to recapture it. They've got very good aggression, and there's no reason why they can't. Dima going for the bomb. Not going to be enough there. Good denial. Much better denial than we've seen on Process, at least. Poker and Strono doing a very good job at denying those bombs. And they want to get back in. Finally, Carl goes down. And Strono now on an 8k. I completely missed the kill feed, but holy moly, that man is incredible today. On this map, at least. 8 kills, good reflect. very, very reliable at denying anything that's going to go for his medic there. So well played to him. They are able to get that point, rolling it down to only 1 minute 15 seconds left. But Boar on the quick 3K funds follow up. They can easily retake this. CJ now on 100%. Layla back in the respawn queue for 5 more seconds.
To make it just that much harder for them to be able to take back this point. I'll be curious, this is the first time we've seen Feila actually be down properly. The last time we saw Strong Opinions take the point, it was because they controlled, they actually had 100% Uber advantage, and so now CJ has the advantage here. We'll see how they want to push this. Again, they're going to come out onto the ramp side as Mezzo actually getting a nice backstep onto the engineer. He's going to finally go down as Boar is not up right now, so here comes that Uber charge. They did bait it out. The biggest thing is making sure to keep Layla alive right now. Cloudy's still looking for frags on the front lines as Crayon is picking up CJ, takes him down. And it's a couple more. It's only just 3 players left alive here for Strong Opinions. They're just like falling apart. Toast does at least pick up 1 on that roof side, but now Feila is going to have the huge Uber advantage as well as the time advantage, ticking down with just a minute left on the clock here.
So they're in a very couple position now, only a minute left. If they can hold on to this, but Layla's falling so weak. One of these sticky traps from a disc, he finally gets taken down, but no, that's it. I was going to say, feeling comfortable with that Uber advantage, but not anymore. Zamparonie playing on that rooftop there. Actually managed to pick off Carl. Good pick there, but they are going to have to back up, however, now, as Cloudy gets sniped by Boar. And yeah, the tables may have turned a little bit now. Strong Opinions holding on to about a 40% advantage there, more than enough to sit comfortably. Only a minute left as well. It's more than doable, but the aggression from Feila is pretty decent there. They're getting a lot of time on here. Boar, I believe, gets down along post fun. Is on here. Are we in a pause at the moment?
No, actually, we're still going live as Dima jumped onto the point, tried to contest it, but the point goes back in the favor of Feila. But here comes out the overcharge from CJ. It's going to be a Disky going all the way back. He's going to try to get, but nice job by Strono, buffing him back. Not being able to do it. Jonas still alive. Somehow a Disky finally does land the needed pipe onto him to be able to take him down. As synrise went for a big flank play, but wasn't able to get too much with it. Boar also in a 2K there early on. The point is just going back into the favor of Strong Opinions as you see Feila pushing back onto this point. 21 seconds left on the clock if they capture it. And it looks like Poker should be able to do this, but Boar picking up a headshot onto the Pyro as he's able to surf his way out. Feila going down incredibly low as the Disky gets taken out. Nice job there by Cloudy with the help of his team. And just complete damage going across each side as Toast goes down. Synrise trying to contest this. Dima going in for a big bomb and takes down Joan as well as Layla. And he's going to be able to get back out. 14 seconds left on the clock in the favor of Strong Opinions. And are you be able to see this, Chando?
It still could go either way, definitely. I mean, the point now in favour of Feila there, and their respawns are coming in soon, but they haven't got that heals at the moment. And CJ now with 100% could easily re-push this with Uber there. As Dima and Funz, however, go down, he's going to put a pin in that perhaps. And such good aggression, the Uber comes out, but they drop so many players, and they're getting denied as well. It's still so doable. They've got so much time on point, but they've just wasted that entire Uber, and it's just the NG. That's a complete disaster, and I don't think they can reclaim that. CJ just simply popped way too late there. He had so many players in, and he dropped so many of them. The final bomb from Deem has come out, but it's not going to be enough, and they're going to take that in a nail-bitingly close first round.
Yeah, that all came down at the end there to include middle. He stood on top of the roof, and nobody was focusing down. Nobody really noticed him, and he just spammed down damage. And when CJ popped his Uber, the soldier was able to push the person who was Ubering all the way outside of his Uber range, and so that was allowed them to be able to just pick up those frags so easily. As Funz gets taken down here early, Joan, with his understanding of these rollouts, gets down early. Layla does eat a rocket from Dima, but we've seen Feila do really well early in these mid-fights, and so far, looking their ways, are already can start getting capture time once this unlocks.
It's that Feila play of pushing out from the left side that I think is winning it, because so many teams, every other team I've seen play in Prem has pushed out, and they've rolled out on the right side, they push from the right side, and it means you can counter it quite well. It's very hard to counter this because Feila's pretty much one of the only teams that does it, and they've got a good strategy around playing this meta, and Strong Opinions don't seem to be able to react to it because you can walk straight onto the point there. You can still hold like a pretty good angle on the point. You can hold closer to the point as well, so when you've got the point, you're closer to it if you need to jump in and try and block anything. So yeah, really working in their favour as Zamparonie goes down to a pick there. The bomb from Dima, trying to make something of a Poker, getting a good denial there. Uber exchange now from teams. Looks like it's going to go in favor of Layla slightly. They're just going to have to back straight out. Good exchange there. That's one of the best things you can really do, I think, when you've got the point and you do an Uber exchange. If you can just back them all out. But the post is go either way. Strono goes so aggressive and takes down CJ before going down himself. But yeah, I mean, Feila just... I mean, how would you say that they're playing better than in CP Process? Because there's clearly a big difference.
Well, I think it kind of was I was talking about in the pregame. It just seems that when they have to struggle, when they have to fight it out, they know what they're doing. But I think the other thing is Strong Opinions is kind of doing the same thing over and over again. Dima not able to get... He didn't have a rocket loaded to be able to finish off the medic. He was staring her down so expectantly, like he's going to kill her. But the big thing that I think is happening is just that they are just doing the same thing over and over again. Strong Opinions, they just keep trying to play up from the balcony side as Layla picks up a frag onto the enemy spy. Just going down, actually 90% Ubercharge are getting ready to be able to contest this as they're still getting out frags. As KritzKast is going to be up for CJ once he gets that live, but the Ubercharge is in the advantage right now of Layla, but Dima's going to come in from behind, doesn't get the force, finally does. Layla pops for herself to keep herself alive, but not going to be able to get too much with this Ubercharge.
No, I think they preempted that. CJ was just out there so quickly. Kritz now comes out. They really knew about it. I don't think they did, but it's not going to be too impressive as does synrise pipe himself? Did he reflect onto himself? I think he might have done. You don't see that every day. But anyway, Cloudy though, actually doing the majority of the denial work there, taking down Carl and many other, I think it was Boar as well. Two very important classes on this map. So yeah, they're going to be able to hold on to this. Layla actually trying to follow up to get some heals out, but she's not quite quick enough, and a lot of players go down. But Strono, I mean, we've been talking about Strono quite a bit. I've been talking about how good he's been playing. That's the second time this round he was able just to run in and kill CJ, and he's done it again. And like, holy moly, he's just playing so well. But the backstab onto Layla is going to change into potentially Cloudy as well going down. He can walk back in. Finally, Strong Opinions starting to get some aggression on this second round.
And they need it. They need it sooner than later as only 46 seconds left out. A beautiful double bomb coming in from the soldier in demo. What coordination coming out, taking down CJ. So you take down Layla, we're going to take down your medic too. Just nice job coming out there. And now, since Strong Opinions controls the point, that's going to allow Feila to just respawn that much faster. So CJ's still not up yet, and they already have their players ready to go to the front line. No heals up yet for the front line for Strong Opinions. They're going to try to push out here, but nice job out of Boar and a Disky to shut them down. Crayon, though, should pick up one on Dima. No, Dima gets the better of that exchange. And so it should have been a nice repush coming out from Feila. The players individually stepping up from Strong Opinions to be able to shut them out, but they're still down a minute and down about 60% Uber, so Feila still easily are in control of this round.
As long as they can just regroup their team and not feed too much, they can easily repush this with the Uber advantage. You can see they're getting ready now as Layla comes in onto 90%. Uber must be imminent now. Starting to push in here, led by Joe and Crayon. There it is. Uber comes out, space taken, very good there. Someone needs to deal with that heavy though, and he's finally going to go down. Loads of picks there on Feila. And yeah, it's actually a tactical pause, probably, unless somebody timed out, but it seems like a weird time to pause there, anything significant.
Well, yeah, I mean, the pause is going to be happening in the 90 seconds in the future, so, you know, it definitely would have been close to potentially a round ending or potentially just close to the end of this round, given the time left on the clock. But just once again, Feila just showing their strength, pushing it back across the point here. As we can kind of use this time to try to dissect what Feila is doing so well. But the big thing, I think, is kind of like what you've talked about, you know, earlier in this round, is just that Feila is playing out from their ramp side, and Strong Opinions just seems to non-stop play from the balcony, and it's just not working out for them, but they still continue to do it. And with this is a best of 5, so it's the first team to win 3 rounds. They're going to win it, and if Feila comes down with this is only one more round for Strong Opinions to try to figure out what they need to do differently, and that's not a lot of wiggle room that they just consistently are trying to do this balcony side push.
Definitely. I mean, so many teams, they play from their balcony side, and the benefit of it is that if both teams play from the balcony side, the sniper duel is far more about which is the better sniper. And I think this is a good decision by Feila to basically say, no, if you're going to play sniper duels, you're playing on our terms. Our sniper's not going to look straight at your sniper. If you want to have that sniper duel, Boar, you've got to rotate away from your combo. And that's what's been happening a lot. Boar's had play their left side, and that's actually opened up risks for him. He's been bombed several times by included middle, and it's meant that Cloudy is playing by his rules because he's near his. He's got his heals, and he's not taking the sniper duel unless Boar wants to take that risk of isolating himself, and it's a very smart decision by them because, you know, I would say on paper Boar maybe comes out as the slightly better sniper just in terms of raw DM, but it's a very, very smart decision by Feila and by Cloudy to actually force the sniper duel to play by their rules rather than just to have it just sort of like as an even game.
I mean, it is pretty close to an even game because of this. Actually, just looking at the kill count in the server right now, Boar has 20 frags, and right behind him is Cloudy at 17. So these guys are neck and neck in terms of putting out frags, but it seems to be obviously benefiting Feila just a little bit more. Interestingly enough, Zamparonie is 16 frags, so he's actually top 3 in the server, the engineer. But I think it honestly, if you just look at how Zamparonie's been playing this, it's been really, really passive and putting up his guns passively, but that does a lot of work because you see Dima, like the big thing we saw out of last game was Funds, Adiski, Dima, you know, they're overextending, they're trying to make plays happen for their team, but the thing is if you try to make a play into a passive engineer, you're going to get shut down because you're getting hit by 8 damage like every second, basically. And when we actually saw that kind of happen during the KritzKast, you know, when we saw the KritzKast come out on Adiski, he wanted to walk across the point, but why didn't he? He didn't walk across the point because there's a mini sentry up inside of, like, just outside the shutter. And so him trying to walk across the point, like, just kind of scared him off because he was already a little bit low HP, and then he was being just hit that much more. But also because it's a KritzKast, he probably didn't want to waste a sticky on the mini sentry, and so he kind of just started to, like, walk, like, on the backside and kind of just made the KritzKast just not useful at all. So always got to give some shout outs to my my engineer bros, as he is stepping up to the plate, it seems, right now, Zamparonie. Though Toast and Strono are also right there with them at 15. So I'll be curious to see kind of how this turns out, but with the point going to be going back in the favor of Feila. I mean, they do have an uber disadvantage, but you know, we haven't really seen Strong Opinions use it too much, as we do get the restart, the pause is undone, and the point is going to go in the favor here of Feila.
Absolutely. Now, CJ, however, going to be holding, I believe they hold an advantage there. I think my config's a little bit messed up from that pause, but I think they're holding on to an advantage.
Yeah, about 40%.
Yeah, about 40% or so. So, you know, now it's definitely still in the driving seat for Strong Opinions. They can push this forward, but with only 30 seconds left for Feila, there's definitely a good chance there. And the pick onto Carl is going to make things possible. Zamparonie tries to go and actually manage to take down the Disky as well, Funds as well. Now the Uber's going to be basically forced to basically only be on Dima, and he can get shut down by Strono. He has actually managed to take down Cloudy, and Joe actually does get backstabbed, but it's going to be CJ that goes down in the post Uber there. Crayon was able to follow up onto Dima now. Tries to go in for that bomb, trying to take down Layla. She's going to get out with her life there. They managed to go into the overtime before they capped the point there. So now they're definitely in a good position. If Layla has got that Uber advantage, and they can just regroup and re-push this in the overtime.
Yeah, and CJ's not even up right now. Just going to come back to life with 100% Uber advantage. Include middle, takes down 2, and here they're going to come into Carl, but the Uber is going to be used out. And it's only actually 3 players left alive. Or, sorry, just a forward 4 Strong Opinions. The respawns are coming up right now as CJ's trying to lead the charge with synrise, but they need to defend this point. It's all going to be over. Here comes in the soldier. Huge bomb in with a combination of Joan as Toast comes in. He gets a pick, but it's not going to get done. And they all were in the same area. Explosive damage just completely controls them. And now it's 2-0 in the favor of Feila, as that's where the pause came in. It was a tactical one, as you mentioned, and Strong Opinions trying to find some life in this second round, as we're coming into this potential final round of Coalplant.
Yeah, just an incredible turn of events for Feila here. How well they can play a map when they really put some effort into it, and something they sure have done. Because the bomb from Dima comes in, manages to take down Layla, so really good play there. But the aggression has gone in favour of Feila regardless, as CJ was taken down as well just a few seconds later. Only synrise surviving. So yeah, I mean, they are going to take the point there, hold on to a lot of players as well. So I mean, like, it seems like there's just that raw aggression from Feila is just working in their favour, and it begs the question, if if they'd been a little bit more aggressive, played a little bit more like this on process, I mean, I know they're different maps, but we could have seen a completely different turn of events for that as well. Repush, though, from Strong Opinions there. We need to see more of that from them, really. They just stuck all their players on the point, and they couldn't really react to it. Feila just had to back out there. There's no way that they could have done anything about it. They just sat 9 players on the point, and nothing could be done as the rotation comes in from Feila. The first time we've ever seen them on the balcony, perhaps, in fact. And now they're actually playing under a little bit there. This is stuff that we've never seen. They've got such a set meta and it's been working, but they're trying to change it up a little bit, and I respect that.
Yeah, and they see the soldier trying to go in for a bomb onto the enemy team, but he gets completely denied. Girardi out on the point as Ubercharge is going to come out. CJ coming up, just barely gets the Ubercharge in time. He was about to go down there from Strono as Funds comes in from behind, creating a distraction, takes down the engineer, and still left alive. Layla is trying to just run back to the point as Funds is going to try to find her, but no, she's going to just get safely back out there as the fighting is continuing on the point, but they came down with the point, but Strong Opinions very quickly recaptures it as they should take the lead here in just a few moments. And so now we kind of get reset here, but Strong Opinions is going to have the slight bird advantage, and we'll see how we're going to see Feila play this once again with Strong Opinions. This is the first time we've really seen them get set up with the point. It looks like Feila is going to mix up. They're not going to go balcony. Now they're going to be coming out of the opposite ramp side. They see the sticky trap and are able just to start pushing out here for free.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, brilliant aggression there. Basically recreating what Strong Opinions have been doing there. And picks coming in left, right, and center, but mostly in favor of Feila. Only 2 up. It was just Boar. He finally goes down, and the rest are respawners now. They're just going to be holding on to that pretty easily. Good pushes, very, very good communication. You can tell, and yeah, now they're back to holding on this left side. And I definitely admire how they were willing to sort of change things up a little bit, and they caught Strong Opinions off guard as they pushed him from that right side there. Now Layla's going to have that 100% Uber, holding very comfortably in the same spot there. And now they are going to start walking onto point there. They're trying to bait this Uber out. Bomb comes in from Adiski, denied. But not before, however, they actually managed to get in the pipes onto Layla. That is a drop for them. But loads of frags actually coming in favour of Feila regardless. They just went so aggressive despite that. Including middle, giving that pick onto Sec. Just going to back out a little bit. And yeah, they're just really picking down the timer now, which is all they really can do. They made the best of that considering Layla dropped, I think.
Yeah, I think it's about all they could do. I mean, it was a really nice push out of Strong Opinions. Actually, CJ getting popped up there from the soldier, but including Mill not able to find that final rocket onto him. Joan is actually still underneath the point, which I'm not sure is going to help out his team. I think he needs to get reconnected back up with the combo because playing alone is not going to help out too much. Toast gets his Dead Ringer pop. But I really would, when they pushed out of the ramp side, I think the reason it worked so well is because they had the bomb in from the balcony side at the same time. But here we go, the bomb in from the balcony side. Mezzo gets a backstab, the Uber comes out, but it's only going to be on Funds. He's going to try to find some frags as Boar was able to pick up one. Funds going all the way over, he puts the meltdown onto Poker. Poker finally does get taken out, but a 60% advantage in the favor of Feila, as they're going to have the fast respawns up since they don't control the point, and only being down about 20 seconds, this is going to be looking pretty good for them as they come into this third round.
Yeah, it's a very good potential for a push here. Now coming up to 90%. Their pushes have been extraordinary. Very good aggression from all players, really. I can't really fault anyone in their pushes. As we get ready here, Uber comes out. And he's going to go into Joe. Bombs forward, putting in good damage. They're all so packed up together. Don't actually get a huge amount of kills, but they get a good amount of damage. Ball goes down, but Joe goes down in return. Adiski there with the traps. And it's just going to be middle now, holding them off. He's putting out some really insane damage, but he's going to finally go down. He was a bit out of his depth. They were 8 points, but at quite a significant cost. And they're not going to have it for too long. They lost so many players there. It's going to be Poker. It's not going to be able to do it. He gets, focused down by several different players. Fun's now on a 7 kill streak as well. He's really stepped up in the later half of this round. You can see like his denial on there is just really good. I mean, don't get me wrong, Crayon, however, making some good picks throughout as well, getting some good plays onto the medic, for example. Boar taking down the 2 border players. Strono and Cloudy both go down. Joe's going to go in more or less by himself now. Now he's finally getting followed up with only 10 seconds left. They've got nothing else to do. They've got to make a play. Layla, however, going to go down to Funds there. The Uber's going to get popped defensively. But Zamparonie's just straight in there. He's going to get the 2k. Is it going to be enough? I think not, but it's nice to see nonetheless, taking it to a 2-1 now.
Yeah, you can see Funds, he was #1 points in that last round, which is pretty much opposite of what we've seen in the first 2 rounds. He was actually bottom of the board after the first 2 rounds. So I think that's really what they need to do. They need to get their star players to step up to the plate, and that's what we saw as we come into this 4th mid fight. 2-1 currently in the favor of Feila. I see Joan again coming out here. And actually, both teams are going to go for a ramp side fight here as Dima coming in from the balcony. Nice shot by Crayon, denying him. And so far, no frags for either team as Crayon should be able to pick up the first one as he does just that. Nice reflect coming out of synrise, being able to protect his medic from included middle. But so far, another solid mid out of Feila as Strong Opinions is just so scared and so passive that they're just giving this up.
Yeah, they didn't lose a single player. I mean, middle going down in the latter half of that, but for the most part didn't lose a single player there. They were doing so good at denial. They knew when the bombs were coming in, and they were focusing down the right players at the right times, and they were able to get a very, very good push on there, gapping that point in a very good time. So, you know, now going to be equal Ubers there. CJ now coming on to 100%, Layla as well. And the Uber's going to be coming straight out. They're not wasting any time. They want to get this Uber exchange out because I think one benefit that Strong Opinions seem to have is that they can push off a dry, they can make a dry push a lot more successful than Feila. Feila often rely on an Uber advantage of some description, whereas I think that they don't seem to have too much trouble. As the bomb comes in for onto Dima, takes down Layla, Joe as well going down, Strono too, loads of picks in favour, only Middle is going to survive along with Mezzo. It's not going to be enough to defend this, and yeah, oh my god, but he does go in. He has the 2 kills onto Toast, onto CJ as well. I was not expecting that. I was just saying it's all over, and then boom, there he is, getting that pick onto CJ. That is game changing for him, certainly, as Layla will now respawn, holding about a 25% advantage, and they're straight in sigafoo.
They're just going to try to walk forward. They take down Carl. They're going to look for more as they pick up one more. Make that the Pyro as well. As Crayon is walking in. Fonz is still alive above, but he should be traded out eventually. But here comes Indima onto the medic's head, but isn't able to find the damage onto her. As she's able to keep her life. The Spy's going to try to contest this point, but it won't be enough as they're holding for Mezzo. Is still forward for his team. Also, Zamparonie has a nice little cheeky, aggressive mini-sentry that will be taken out from Toast. 30% advantage in the favor of Feila as they hold on to this point with about a minute advantage as well. Nice shot from Cloudy, taking down a Disky. There's no Devilman here for the push for Strong Opinions for at least another 10 seconds. Dima is going to go in alone. Should be traded out here, and so far so good on this hold coming out of Feila. Toast, though, nice backstab, taking down Jones. No Devilman to try to defend this, and you can see Strong Opinions is going to force out this Uber charge contesting this point.
Definitely, yes. And Disky falling very weak. Actually goes on to Zamparonie. Good head. It was a headshot, I think, onto a Disky by Cloudy. And Zamparonie followed up on that really well, going super aggressive again, that pick. So that was definitely something in denial there. Dima getting behind the scenes there, trying to irritate the combo there. It does get picked out by Poker there. Now they are still holding quite comfortably, down to a minute left, holding very good. Layla added about a 30% disadvantage, but they're wasting a lot of time for Strong Opinions here. If they're going to wait for that Uber, they're going to be waiting another 20 seconds or so. Well, actually, no, not quite. They are straight in to the back. The Uber does come out. Layla is well away, however, though. In fact, that most of the team are. Layla getting back there with 80% now. It's exactly what Strong Opinions have been doing, and that's when it was most successful for them. It's just backing out their medic, make sure the medic can get away alive. Layla's going to be holding all the way back in spawn, waiting for the respawners now. They want to go back in. Here comes the Uber. It's finally got 100. Now
watch out for the sticky trap.
Side.
There's a sticky trap right above the door. Yeah, it's right above the door. You saw Disky walk up, and that's the thing that's shut down this push. Actually, they're going out balcony side. They're going to avoid it completely, though Poker did get lost into it, as the Delman's going to be walking over the top, included jumping in as well. They're trying to find the frags, but Strong Opinions wisely so, just giving up this point basically for free and going to try to recontest this on a dry push. Potentially, it's the Disky's walking forward, picks up a shot onto Cloudy, as frags are coming out for each team, but looks like to be in the favor of Strong Opinions, as they only have 4 alive right now. Layla did keep her life, but with the advantage in the favor of CJ. This is looking good, but here comes in the suicide bomb in, but not enough.
So nearly there. I mean, yeah, Feila wasted quite a lot of time there. Oh my lord, no, never mind. CJ getting taken down by Mezzo. Good revolver there. It was just as included middle was going for the bomb there. So CJ was so distracted, clearly, by trying to hold on to that Uber from the bomb that he completely missed Mezzo there, and he was just getting gunned down. So now Layla with 75% advantage and only 20 seconds left on the clock, 24 seconds left on the clock to be exact. It's looking very hopeful for Feila, I would say, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is going to be their round to take it. Honestly, it's really the round to lose as CJ's up to a desperate quick fix, but here comes out the overcharge. It's going to be on the demo as well as the scout trying to walk across the point. They do lose one early on here. Actually, it's a collateral taking down CJ and Boar. Carl gets traded out as well. Beautiful job. Here comes Indima. He's going to try to find something late here, but he ultimately gets traded out. Does at least take down the sniper. 20 seconds left in the clock, but CJ is still not back up alive. Again, back up on the quick fix. They'll see what they can do, but man, the Machina, the double, going through both, and this is looking great for Feila, taking 8 seconds left in the clock.
Absolutely. Head the stab onto Joan, though. Might offer some possibilities there. Toast making a very good play there, but is it going to be enough? No, it is not. They couldn't get to quick enough, and that is it in a 3-1 victory. The exact same score as their group stages against Strong Opinions, funnily enough. So, yeah, I mean, very well played by Feila there. Brilliant coordination, insane damage, just everything about it was just played so well. I think they got the wrong config, but it is GG, ladies and gentlemen. Taking it to a 1-1 on this best of 3 grand finals. So yeah, we'll be going into a third map as predicted, which will be Koth product here. And this is very, very good Highlander gameplay. Some of the best I've seen in actually a long time from both teams, I would say. And yeah, really makes you think, what if there was a Highlander LAN like we had in Deutschland? So it'd be nice to see these players sort of actually battle it out in a more competitive environment, I think. But we're not offline, we are online, and let's go into the logs now.
Yeah, I mean, looking at these logs here, you know, you almost can see, like, trade for trade between these two teams. You know, you got Boar at the top, right behind him is Cloudy at 29 and 27, respectively. You know, most classes are just, like, basically one slot away from each other. You know, Disky obviously stepping up a little bit more than Jonah, got about 2,000 damage more and a couple more frags for his team. But the big thing is, you know, you don't need to get damage. I mean, actually, it's going to be Feila was just has slightly more damage than Strong Opinions, but they had less kills than Strong Opinions, which is, I think, kind of interesting, kind of shows you Strong Opinions playstyle where they'll eat damage, but they play it a little bit passively to try to keep themselves alive. But I think it was just the aggression coming out of Feila and working off of it. But I think the other big thing coming out of Feila that last round, which is not going to show up in the logs, is their ability to be coordinated. A lot of their plays that were so successful against Strong Opinions was when they were being attacked from multiple flanks. And, you know, I kind of talked down about included middle in the CP process, but in this round, he played fantastic. He would jump in, do a bomb, he would suicide when needed, he would keep himself alive when needed, and, you know, even that final play at the end, it was the spy coming in, making a play onto the medic, that distracted, allowed included middle to come and get extra damage, and then the spy was able to finish him off. You know, one player is not going to be able to step up, I think, for Feila. It needs to be a team coordination if they're going to win this out, because I think, you know, pound for pound, yeah, Strong Opinions might have the better players, but coordination and team play can beat that. And it doesn't show up as much in logs, but I definitely think that's what we're seeing out of Feila. But, you know, looking at the stat lines, you know, what are you seeing?
I actually have to agree with that. I was talking about this in the when we first went live about how committed Feila have been in their scrims and in their training in the off season, consistently playing, and Joe as a main caller, very, very good at conveying his strategy to his team and getting his team to follow his word to the book. And as a result, I think on Koth it shows really well, as we've seen on Coalplant. You know, when they want to push, they will push. When they want to do a double bomb will happen, and it will be a good one. They're very good with the synergy, very good with this cohesion, and it's exactly what you said. On paper, maybe Strong Opinions roster looks a little better. You know, I think it would be, I think Boar, Toast, Funds, just some absolutely top level names. No one is saying otherwise, but I think considering how much effort Feila have gone to try and formulate their strategy and their synergy and cohesion, there's no reason why they can't take Product's victory as easily as they took Coalplant.
Yeah, and we'll see. One interesting stat line I'm looking at this here is this is kind of the inverse of what we saw on CP Process, is Layla has less stats than CJ, which is not the most surprising. CJ was, really good job out of Feila focusing him down. But the big thing is that Layla has twice as many assists, which means Layla was consistently at the front lines helping out her team. I mean, obviously the less stats is going to help that, but still, I mean, I think it's a sign of how aggressive Feila was, but also that they had their medic in that aggression. So they were able to be more aggressive because they had the heals to back it up. I think CJ was, playing, I don't want to say CJ, but just Strong Opinions was playing scared at times, and their coordination from their flank just wasn't kind of working in. Now, this is a map, CP product, where it's not going to be as easy for the flank to make much or to be as effective because you have to push up through, kind of a choke point, which is the concrete side. You can kind of go for maybe a double bomb. You can kind of go against the rocks, but it's not as clear cut as Coalplant. And I wonder if that might benefit, the side of Strong Opinions more because they don't have to worry about dealing with the flank of included middle constantly doing bombs in and bombs out and standing above the point and just doing damage.
Quite possibly. I think another thing that might benefit Strong Opinions is how good the classes that Strong Opinions has got are going to be very good on this map. So, I'm talking about a Disky, for example. This map is definitely a demo-orientated map, and he's been consistently out-damaging Joe. He's got, incredible good aggression, and it definitely shows, he's doing a lot of work for his team. And likewise, Boar as well, the sniper can do a lot of work on this map. So, those two players, I would say, are the star players of Strong Opinions, and they just also happen to be two of the most important classes for this map. So that's going to give them a slight advantage. But I think on this map as well, it's not just about DM. We've got to take into account, the coordination. I think products can sometimes be quite hard to actually get 9 players across onto the point at one time, and that's one thing that Joe will be quite good at doing. So you can see coordination wise, I think that Feila will probably have the edge a little bit there.
Yeah, and I definitely could see that being the case, but I guess the other thing too is that for their, some of the key players, Boar and Carl, the North American players, this is a map they know like the back of their hand. Coalplant might have been one that they were not as familiar to. I mean, I think we saw it with Carl. He kind of struggled to figure out where to position himself, where to kind of help out his team the most. Maybe he wasn't as aggressive as he typically is, but on this map, this is his jam. He knows exactly how to play this, and I think we're going to see a lot more of him. Boar, obviously is, a wonderful sniper. He's going to do work on this map probably more so than he did on last, so even though he top fragged for the team. But the thing is during the RGL Grand Finals, we saw Boar against Andrew, and actually this was the map where Boar kind of struggled against other snipers. So I'm kind of curious to see if that was going to be a trend or a mirage. Is this kind of a map where, Boar might be taken out from other snipers who are, just as qualified for as him? Are we going to see Mezzo focus down Boar a lot more, which, his Boar's going to be playing more away from the combo on this map more than likely, except when, when you control the point, obviously you're going to put your sniper probably on rock or somewhere near your combo, but, at other times you're going to play him away up on cliff and stuff like that, and will Mezzo be able to focus Boar down enough? Will he be able to be enough of a nuisance? Because I do think that, as you said, demos and snipers do dictate a lot of this map, and so, demos can be hard to take down at times, but if you could give your sniper that advantage of being able to be comfortable about not being his head being taken off, it might just help you out that much more. So, I mean, have you seen Feila or Strong Opinions play this map before? Do you have any kind of inkling to their kind of play styles of the way they like to play it?
It's actually one of the maps I haven't seen them play in too much depth. In fact, either team. I'm pretty sure when I spoke to CJ that he would say about how strong they are on Koth Products. It is one of their strong maps. It was after all one of his picks as well. It was his second pick. So they've clearly picked it because they feel confident about it, which is understandable. And I remember him saying that it is a good map for them. At the same time, though, we've seen how good Feila were at Coalplant. I mean, they're completely different maps, but the same game mode applies, and their strategy to the game mode is actually really good. How they play the point, it will be the same across these maps, and how they decide to push and when they decide to push, again, will be the same here. So as we do go live now, we will be breaking into the third map of the best of 3 grand finals, ETF2L Season 14 Premiership. Anyone tuning in, Strong Opinions versus Feila eSports. Feila going to be on the red team there. Now they're going to be going in. Fast bomb from middle, gets straight behind, and both snipers doing a lot of work there. Disky going down later as well to the snipers, and there's just frags coming left, right, and center. Middle actually able to come in and pick off CJ, so that was a really good pick there. I mean, no one's even surviving at all. I think if just going in favour of Joe. No, it's literally going in favor of no one. It's, yeah, I guess strong opinions. No, I guess...
Feila.
Feila?
Yeah.
Feila, okay.
Yeah, Feila is going to come out on top here just barely to come down with the point. Crayon went all the way across. He's using the bong to be able to get back to his side, but it was Crayon who went onto the enemy cliff to take down Boar early in that fight with the help of Mezzo as they get traded out here. But even Ubers for both teams as Toast just walks onto the point, gets it back for free, so only about 15 seconds cap for Feila there. So here comes Ndima, big bomb and going for Layla, landing the rockets that he needs as Layla was hiding out in the corner. And I think we're going to see a lot of Dima doing those bombs. So, Layla might want to think about a different position because that's very susceptible to bombs. But once again, this is the 3rd point capture in the first 30 seconds. So I think this is a good sign of how close this game is going to be.
So back and forth at the moment. You see Cloudy there got a nice 3k that enabled them to make that push there. Not incredibly important picks, but it was enough for them to have the manpower just to completely storm across the point there. As he gets another pick onto Dima as well. Fun's going down as well. There's good denial from this passive angle at the moment. Toast as well goes down. The only person playing aggressive there was Zamparoni. I think he was just kind of maybe baiting them out a little bit. He does go down. And yeah, I mean, this sort of passive play is very respectable. They get the Uber out nice and early. Layla's far back away with 50% advantage now. Joan actually does go down along with Strono. Disky actually getting picked off. Synrise as well means that they could re-push this fairly soon as Layla comes on to 70% now, just waiting for Joan to respawn. There he is, so they're going to be getting straight back into here now, but they've still got players fighting on the front line there. Middle actually just picked off Dima, and Poker playing on that left side. The bomb comes in from included middle. He doesn't make anything of it, but he does provide the space needed. They do back up nicely. However, Layla's going to drop. She's going to get picked off by Boar, and they are still potentially going to be able to get the point. Yes, they do, but it's not going to be for long. They can't hold this aggression. Only goes down. Brilliant play there by Boar, sigafoo.
Yeah, I mean, we need to see the pick classes step here for Strong Opinions and doing just that. Boar is on a map he's a little bit more comfortable with. And one thing I liked actually just prior to this exchange here is that when Strong Opinions had the advantage, Layla played around Crayon. And so as soon as Strong Opinions pushed in, Layla started healing the scout, using the speed boost that you get from healing the scout to be able to back out quickly. Really smart play out of Layla to keep herself alive, but ultimately dropped the Uber, so not worth too much. As they are down about 50% right now, slowly getting a little bit closer. Strono does at least pick up one frag onto the backside. Cloudy taking down a Disky. Dima getting traded out as well, so no explosive classes here for Strong Opinions, and they're going to play it a little bit more passively. Boar does put out the Girardi, but here comes out the overcharge. Layla needs to get connected back up with someone again onto Crayon. Trying to run out, but Funds, who is still overcharged, runs all the way back, able to get the frag onto her. And, I mean, only 4 players left alive here for Strong Opinions, so they should see it. Boar with a beautiful headshot onto the scout. He should probably go down, but the point will finally go back in the favor of Feila if they just put capture time, but they're trying to chase frags instead.
I think they're really overcommitting there. They should just played the point, started getting back on the timer there. Stab onto Poker. He's going to make things a little rough there. If they want to re-push, Strong Opinions have got a good opportunity to. In the air, I mean, they got the point, but at a big cost. Layla and Ceejaey, however, both on equal Ubers, more or less. And it's going to be Funds just trying to tickle the point. They're trying to get a little bit of time there. Some good picks. Cloudy going down. Zamparonie as well. The bomb from Dima. He's getting so deep behind their lines, and he gets a good direct onto Layla. It's going to give Ceejaey a nice, comfortable advantage to play with. They're going to capture the point as well. Looking very, very good indeed there. Mezzo trying to make a counterplay onto Ceejaey there, but it's not going to do it. And everyone just walking into Carl as well. He's just pushed up nice and aggressively, and I think everyone was trying to go for Ceejaey there. They realised, like, realistically that's the last opportunity they might get, and Carl was just there ready to clean up. So very well played there. They're playing a little far back now, just making sure the Ceejaey is going to be okay there. They might have to use in soon. Here we go. Using in. They're going to deny Joe there. Such aggressive plays there. It's all you can do. Layla getting backstabbed as well. 30 seconds left. And what can Feila do to reclaim this?
Just stop letting your medic die, period. It's been backstabs, it's been chases, it's been bombs. You need to stop letting Layla die. Obviously, some of the accountability comes onto her as they recapture this point, but honestly, this game is pretty close, and they've lost. I don't think I've seen a single Uber charge out of Feila this entire round. I mean, Layla is just consistently dead as Dima gets a nice bomb onto Cloudy there, though trading out his life. With 15 seconds left in the clock, they're just going to need to be able to run at this point and try to hope for something great. But the big thing that we saw out of Feila in the first in the round of Coalplant, it was that Strono was doing a great job defending his medic, but here we go. Final capture point going up here for the first round. A lot of pressure being put on here by Feila, but they're all being grouped up in the same area, and just so much damage coming down to them. They are going to come down with this point, but they probably are not going to be able to hold on to it. Nice headshot, though, coming out of Cloudy.
That was incredible. Yeah, I mean, actually did a pretty good push, all things considered. Wasn't quite enough. Boar actually able to pick up about 3 kills, I think it was. It's just going to be middle now. Backed up with Joan. But now CJ's got that Uber, so he can pretty much just hop onto the point and play with that Uber aggressively, get funds onto the point. That's exactly what they're doing. They don't even need to use it. They're going to do it anyway. And yeah, no, they're going to take that 1-0. Close round, though. Very close round. It still could go either way.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, as I said, it's the biggest thing I want to see is make sure Layla gets kept alive. I think she probably already has 5 deaths just in that round alone, which was about half of her deaths in the entire last game. So if they can be able to fix that, I think they're going to be able to put themselves in a very good spot. Cloudy's also stepping up big here as we come out onto the second mid fight.
Yeah, and the first pick's going to be onto Joan. Disky getting some good sticky placements there. Strono going down as well. Disky also managed to pick up Zamparonie as well. Funds getting the pick onto Mezzo. They're going to be able to go across the point there, but look at Crayon. He's in a very good position here. Almost able to get the medic. Maybe if CJ wasn't quite on Cliff, he would have had that opening, but he gets picked off by Carl. They're going to be able to just cap the point here. Layla did actually get out with her life. So they're going to hold on to more or less equal Ubers here. Boar, however, taking down Cloudy. Nice shot onto him. They're going to play nice and aggressively as well. Gets the pick onto Joan as well. Just, he's unstoppable at the moment. No one seems to be putting any pressure on him, and he can just do whatever he wants.
You know, he's going to be able to do whatever he wants as he picks up one more. Here comes out Crayon with the supercharge. It's going to be traded out here. That's much better Uber in the terms of strong opinions. We'll see if they can chase down the frags as they're trying to lead the charge with funds, but they get out all the way back out to spawn. Dima is going to run into Cloudy here. They're going to get one more as we see 4 players, 4 strong opinions, very aggressive, but they're going to just back out to have more of a passive hold. Mezzo is currently behind enemy lines. Just seeing if he can get some intel or maybe get a pick onto somebody, but Synrise actively searching for him, putting out flames everywhere, and he's going to get caught out there, but a Disky got face stabbed. I'm not sure how that happened. That looked like the biggest face stab in my life, but they're going to work off of it. No demo man here, so it means no demo spam onto the point. They're walking across, doing a good job. Both teams don't have Uber, or does pick up one more onto included middle. Porco gets taken down. Nice job there out of the hit scan classes to pick him off. And what looked to be like they did capture the point, but it's only going to be just for basically seconds, as Strong Opinions is just going to walk back out onto it.
They just committed so many bodies there to the point, and it was almost pointless to actually go for it. You know, there was as soon as they got the point and they'd lost all but like 2 players, it begs the question, why bother? But regardless, they're going to be back in there. Middle making a decent effort at a bomb there, but isn't really going to get deep enough to do any damage. Going to get that pick onto Poker. Synrise as well, following up the pipe onto Layla. Is going to put things way back for Feila, however, as the Uber comes out for Strong Opinions. And the best thing is, they can now use that Uber, and they can still have an Uber advantage, just due to these long respawn times. They didn't actually have the point at the time, so you know that was well played by them. Layla's only just respawning now, and CJ's back on 20%, so they can use that Uber safely, so they don't risk losing any players, and they're still going to have a very good advantage to play off. So well played there by them, as they're just going to be playing back nice and passive at the moment here, just trying to bide their time, watching out for overextenders, and they're going to be cleaning up when necessary as the dry push starts to head on its way. Bomb comes in from including middle, gets denied. He's actually going to get out with his life, but they're just going to be walking across the point there. Poken leading the charge. He's just basically doing it by himself, in fact. No one's really dealing with him, though. No one's actually dealing with this aggression. I guess they want to wait for the Uber. But I don't really know what's up with that. But loads of picks coming in favour of Strong Opinions. They can walk back. They don't even have to use the Uber, probably. They can just walk in here after getting loads and loads of good picks. Middle, Crayon, Poker, all gone down. Cloudy as well. They can just recapture that point. They've still got that Uber. And so has Layla. So we could be seeing a bit of an Uber exchange here soon.
Yeah, and Boar is going to be coming back up to the front lines here pretty shortly. And we'll see if, that's going to, the big problem with Feila is they had to pop Uber so early out of fear of Boar, but they're going to wait just long enough. Now here they go, get the force out from CJ, about 30% better Uber charge for the blue side, controlling the point. They get about half of the point captured as Poker gets traded out here. Disky, though, gets popped up into a bad spot. Toast is going to go behind the enemy team, but no demo man here currently to try to defend this. I'm kind of curious to see what they want to do. Boar is actually in a very cute spot on the cliffside. Gets a headshot onto Joan. and follows it up with a body shot, but Crayon should be able just to get this point for free if he stays on top of it. Synrise is going to try to contest him as Dima coming in over the top, gets a rocket, finally finds the next rocket. Once again, he's doing a bomb in, not being fully loaded. The point will get captured, but this is not looking good for them right now, as they're going to get into overtime, including middle, gets a kill onto CJ, but yeah, this should be Strong Opinions holding on.
Yeah, I mean, you've just got to... I mean, Carl was just in the best spot there. I mean, there was loads of players for Feila that wanted to take that, wanted to retake the point there. They didn't have a medic either, and they were just walking into Carl's minigun, and they had absolutely no at reclaiming that, as it goes to a 2-0 for Strong Opinions. Potentially the final round. They will take the grand finals if they can win this last round of product. As we go live into it, Joe's going to get there a little quicker, actually, making good time there, putting some good damage onto Funds there. They want to get in nice and aggressive. You see the bonk atomic punch from Crayon. He's going to get right behind. He's just waiting for that to come out. Zamparonie got behind as well, actually. But so did Dima, comes in for the bomb there. Joe can't even see him. He actually manages to get him with a double stab from Toast onto Strono and Poker. That's completely annihilating the Feila combo there. And the bomb from Adiski, he's trying to pick off Layla. In fact, he does so late. Good pipe onto Layla, completely destroying the entire Feila combo and putting Strong Opinions in position to take this victory.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really nice job at recognizing the situation and realizing, you know, let's just suicide in. Now, what needs to happen is they need to go right now. Feila, they know Adiski's down. They don't have a down man up. They can't be afraid of Boar. They just need to get this point captured, and they're doing just that. Included middle, going in for a bomb, completely alone, gets just completely annihilated for that. Ubercharge is going to be coming out here to try to defend the point, as the point's very close to being captured. Toast alone onto Feila, but not able to get secure that frag. As Layla is going to get back out to the spawn, but because she wasn't healing for so long, CJ's base going to be even Ubers, as finally Mezzo as well as Zamp gets taken down on the point. But it's very close to being captured, so I think probably just a dry push is what you want to go for here. Just get that point captured in your favor, and we'll see what they want to do. Is Layla currently down 0-2, and Strono's going to be able to come down with this Dima again, going in for a big bomb in. Layla going down to half HP, but they're going to come down with the point.
Yeah, lost that Demo Man there. They don't get the point, losing the Demo Man. Fun's going very aggressive, and it's only Layla that actually was on the ground level there. The rest of her team choosing to back out from Cliff. And Fun's now just actually absolutely demolishing the rest of them. Cloudy and Poker both going down to the scattergun. They're going to be able to reclaim this point here, playing nice and aggressively now. And yeah, holding on to that point. It's just been so great. Looking at Boar's performance, there's no way he can be this strong at Sniper. It's just incredible. He's just absolutely leagues above anyone else at the moment, especially on this map. Just getting headshot after headshot after headshot, just denying any attempted aggression from Feila. Just the manpower by the time they get to point is so little that it really is astounding. Demo getting that pick onto Layla, however, once again, just completely denying any aggression. Without a medic, it's going to be almost impossible to push there. You might get the point, but you're going to hold onto it for a very small amount of time. Toast picking up Stronate. It's just Poker and Joan. Poker going to get picked up by Boar now on a 6k. Now on a 7k, he picks off Crayon, and Synrise is going to just push through connector there, picking off Joan and more or less wiping the Feila team.
I mean, the consolation prize is they did take down CJ, so that might be able to help them out a little bit here. But they keep trying to work the same angle. They keep trying to work from the cliff side. I think they really need to make sure they get their bombs together. Maybe try to work a little bit more from concrete, as Zamp as well as Strono is trying to work out from there before does get a headshot from the bridge. But the point is going to go down in the favor of Feila, as they're able to take this for free. This is one of the first time we've seen Strong Opinions play so passively. So we'll see if Feila can get set up in some sort of defense, but being down by about 2 minutes, this is a lot to ask for when the grand finals match point is on the line. Both teams are basically everybody alive, and here comes Ndima, big bomb in, no one to defend it. Adiski going in as well. They take care of one. They're going to get Dima as well, probably, and Layla didn't even take a lick of damage in the process.
Yes, Dima trying to go in for a last-ditch effort, almost getting it, but does get picked off there as Layla now comes into 100%. Potentially one of the first Ubers I've seen for a while from Feila. Boar now on a 10k, no one is denying him at all. As I say that, Joe actually gets the pick onto him, but he's already done so much damage by now. He's just playing so well indeed. And Crayon going to get nice and deep onto the flank there. But the counter comes out onto Funds, and doing his best to deny it, but it's not going to be enough. They simply can't hold on to the point there. They've got to back up, and it's going to be a ×4. Going to actually grab the point there with 43 seconds left now. 43 seconds away from another Premiership title. But Feila, they're getting the picks in. They're going to pick onto second, Adiski, and onto Carl as well. So good plays there. Funds too. They're going to be a swift recap. There's only two survived there. CJ, yeah, with his life. No, he's not. Finally gets taken down by middle. That was actually a full wipe, sigafoo there.
Yeah, nice job out of Feila. That was the first time I think I saw an all-red kills feed there, where it's just all red on the left-hand side. That's what we need to see out of them as they're controlling this point. Also have the Uber advantage, so being down 40 seconds is actually not asking a lot to be able to try to recapture this or try to hold on to this. Here comes Indima, big bomb in, but Strono is right there. Beautiful reflect. That's what we need to see. Strono, when he's protecting his medic, when they're able to get a good hold on, that's when we see Feila do so well. Mezzo also needs to continue to step up to his team. You know, Synrise has been able to just continuously search for the enemy team, as Mezzo's actually going to take him out. So no Pyro to try to protect the enemy team. Boar's going to drop down, gets 2 frags, takes down Cloudy, getting very aggressive, half HP. And looks like Strong Opinion is going to just force this fight. Oh no, but CJ gets taken out.
Absolutely, yes. They actually forced the Uber out, and then I think Jones surfed towards him and was able to get some really nice damage in there. Taking down CJ, gets picked off himself, stabbed almost coming in from Layla. I very nearly got the surf, but a nice little, I'm going to call that an air shot. I think that was an air shot from Dima there. Gets the pick onto Layla. It's going to give CJ, well, actually, it's going to be about equal with only 30 seconds left. Both teams barely anyone up really at the moment here. If I was Cloudy, I might even try and get on the point myself. I guess he's got to worry about funds there, so maybe not such a bad decision to hang back. Zhao, however, does want to get on that point. He's wasting no time. That looks like a quick fix there coming in from Layla. Good call, I'd say, with only 10 seconds left. Good denial onto funds there. Cloudy denying that scout, which is going to be an essential role in these last few seconds, I would say. In fact, both teams now on quick fix. So they've got it. If they can deal with Boar there, gets the stab onto Dima, sorry. And Zamparonie playing very aggressive indeed, but the double backstab onto Crayon in the middle is going to set things back a little bit for Feila, but a disc going down along with Sek. It still could go either way. The pick onto Poker as well. Still definitely could go either way. They've really got to start making something of it. And now finally into overtime. Feila have got a very good shot here, but look at Toast. He's still playing back. Has anyone even noticed him yet?
He's going to get taken out, but yeah.
Very nearly.
Yeah, that quick fix coming up just in time for Feila to be able to secure that point. Nice job, Ken, out there in a very scrappy final round, but I mean, that's the first round we see Strong Opinions not be able to, like, once they gave up their hold, Feila was able to take control, and we'll see if they can continue that. I mean, we saw Strong Opinions break. They need to do that again as we come out onto this 4th round. As Feila has her back against the wall, they need to win this round to put it into an overtime, into a golden cap, whatever you want to call it. But they need to step up right now as Mezzo's getting himself into position behind the team. Gonna get a stab onto Carl and try to get a pick as Dima as well as Toast going behind. Layla going down to half HP as Dima still keeping himself alive. But Strong Opinions, they don't have anybody for it at all. So we should be able to see Feila just capture this point for free, basically.
That's exactly what they're going to do. Pushing us straight across to that point now. Nothing too much to worry about. I think Dima actually went down on the back lines. I blooming hope so, because he definitely should have done. Mezzo's going to get that stab onto Boar as well, which is going to open up Cloudy to actually put out some damage. I've seen that like Cloudy's constantly been getting out sniped Boar, but when Boar's down, that's when Cloudy can really shine. So if he can get some good picks here, actually Mezzo's going to be able to get the pick onto a Disky. Carl as well going down. The Uber's going to come out. It's going to be Joe. He's going to jump in nice and aggressive. Very nearly getting CJ there, but not quite. And Funds doing a very good job of protecting his medic there. Actually picked off, put out some good damage onto Joe and managed to take down another one as well. But CJ getting picked off by Cloudy as well is going to make all the difference, as Layla now is going to have to back out. She's milked though, and she is a little weak. Going to get out with her life. And about a 30% advantage, which is more than enough to make a repush here. But look at Funds still on the front line there, doing so much. He jumped onto Battlements. He wanted more, but he couldn't get it. And he's going to go down to middle. And now we're looking at a push potentially here. No one's watching the sticky traps though. Finally they get dead. Just a little bit off timing. But Jones is going to go down to Carl. Middle's going to go down to Dima there. They might going to get the point, but they are definitely going to lose a lot of players in the process of Carl and Synrise go down in return there. They're going to go back to playing this passive stance now. Do you think this is really the best option for them, sigafoo?
Yeah, I do. I think it's working out pretty well for them because Dima going in for the bombs, they need to keep their players up to try to defend it. Adiski overextending, but he does get the overcharge popped out onto Crayon. And it's going to give a leapfrogging here of the Uber advantage back in the favor of CJ as Jones trying to make a play in alone, but when you control the point, that's a little bit of a risky thing to do, is you don't want to go down and put yourself up on a long respawn wave. So we should see Strong Opinions get their Uber charge out, included middle, a little bit aggressive here, trying to go in. I mean, honestly here, I think it just let them come in with the Uber charge and just back out, and that's exactly what's happening for Strong Opinions. Now I just don't want to lose too many players from Feila, as the Disky overextending like crazy, should be taken out, finally is. And so that's going to allow Feila to push back out on here pretty quickly, not having to worry about a demo man on the defense.
Yeah, they were able to pick off Carl as well, who wasn't quite quick enough for backing out as the rest of his team. Dima on the back lines, trying to get medic. He finally does. Brilliant rocket onto Layla. I don't know if that was a drop or not, but it was incredible nonetheless. And holy moly, like, Dima's been so much work on the backlines, constantly making Layla paranoid. She must be having nightmares tonight, certainly. And I mean, they're going to get the point, but not at a great cost, as CJ now holds about 50% Uber advantage. They're going to holding back nice and passive, but they haven't got too many players that can really commit to this. And Strong Opinions, no doubt, will be able to push in. But look at the double stab onto Mezzo, from Mezzo onto the core combo with Disky and Carl. Both go down. Funds and Dima, the flank as well. They get cleaned up, putting things again like they're just clocking down this timer now. Feila only have a minute left to kill. I mean, yes, they're playing at a disadvantage. Wait, no, they're not. Never mind, they are not. CJ actually somehow went down.
Yeah, they're going to have the Uber advantage and the time advantage right now. Synrise is going to try to get some capture time as he gets his life eaten away and going to back off to get re-healed. It's a Disky going down once again. A Disky just a little bit too aggressive. It worked out on 5CP. It worked out prior in this map, but he's finally getting focused down from Feila as Carl's going to walk across the point uncontested so far. He's eating a lot of damage, and Poker finally will take him down as they are able to get the recapture back up, but it's going to get taken from Feila fairly quickly here, but Adisky doing as much damage as he possibly can in the meantime. 97% coming up for Feila, and they're going to probably just try to hold on to it as Dima coming in, gets one rocket, but nice job focusing him down, and they get the point, and no one's even forward, but that was a bad pop out of Layla. She was not low enough to get the force off.
I can see why she's popping. I mean, the amount of times the Demon's dropped or, you know, ruined an Uber charge is crazy. Yeah, I mean, definitely a bit of a whiff there. I mean, now Disky just comes in and gets nice two kills, and yeah, they do use their Uber, so Layla will have a small advantage. 2 minutes left. They can surely still claw this back. It's certainly not over. They've got to get one good pop, and they've basically won this round. So I wouldn't be surprised if they can still reclaim this. Layla now more or less equalised to CJ here, but you see how aggressive Strong Opinions are playing now. They don't even want to let them onto the point now. I think this is a good decision. I think you've got to make that choice. You're either going to play behind the point, or you're going to play aggressive enough to allow no one basically to push forward, and that's kind of what they're doing here. Both demos go down, however, and yeah, I mean, and Carl as well, so potentially opening now for Layla to be picking up with the team.
Yeah, Layla gets taken out. Demo once again seeking her out, but the point's starting to go down in the favor of Feila. They need to contest this. They can't let him capture it with 6 seconds left on the clock, and here comes out Strong Opinions just enough. CJ, though, getting bombed. Oh, included Mill. Not able to keep it off, but CJ's so incredibly low. Meso can see this as the Uber charge does come out. They back off, but they do get the force off, and honestly, that's fine. This whole entire exchange that didn't work out in the favor of Feila is completely fine because they still have 54 seconds to push out onto the point. And now that CJ does not have Uber advantage, they can just do a dry push. The biggest thing they got to worry about is Boar as well as a Disky doing work. So if Strong Opinions can keep those guys alive, this is when they've won their round. So no Mezzo up right now to try to make a play. Here comes included middle, but he's completely alone. But a lot of capture time currently in the side of Feila. They're going to just put a lot of it onto the point. They do get the capture, 5 seconds left up. Strong Opinions needs the recapture.
They're wasting no time getting back onto that point. They don't barely have any time there. Mezzo actually not going to get the pick, but it's going to be middle who gets 3 kills. Demo, Disky, and CJ, so important stuff. Who's actually going to get another stab, and now they're recapping it. But like Layla now has 70%. They still don't have to worry too much about it. That was an insane play by Include Middle, and it might just be enough for them to recapture this round, possibly the game. And now a pick onto Synrise as well. That's going to help in terms of them being able to get onto the point. They have to worry about that denial from the Pyro there. Really pushing straight up, led by Joan. Uber's going to come out now. And they're playing very aggressive, considering they have such a bad Uber disadvantage. Finally, Carl goes down. The bomb from Adisky. He gets denied. And yeah, they're going to be able to hop onto that point, but pretty much no luck. It's just going to be the engineer. It's not going to be enough. They're going to bring this up to 2-2. So close, sigafoo.
This is it. This is what it all has come down to. Strong Opinions, the long-standing team, up against Feila, who's now come into this overtime round. This is the 3rd map We're in the final round of the third map. This is it. One team walks away, the grand champions. The other team is going to walk away disappointed, and Feila is currently on a tear, winning the last 2 rounds after going down 0-2. And we'll see what they can do, is they got to be feeling very happy coming into this next mid-fight, and they're looking very strong. They're not playing passively here. They're playing aggressively as they pick up, get a couple of early frags.
Definitely, a Cloudy down is going to make a huge difference. Now they can walk across the point without having to worry about that sniper. However, Carl actually went down as Poker just matched the aggression there, and the bomb from Included Middle isn't going to be enough. So nearly. He doesn't quite have the rocket needed to get CJ, but very good potential there. They did have to back up quite considerably though, and CJ's going to go down to a double pipe by Joan. He's going to take a Disky as well with him, and Boar. That's 4 kills, and he's still going to get up with his life and 50 health there. Finally going down to Synrise, who's now on 1 health, gets picked off as well. Back and forth plays there. Zamparonie wants to go for the fight against Funds. That is a risky decision there, my friend, but I guess he had to go for it. The Funds is just going to cap it before backing away there. Very good dodging there. And yeah, I mean, Layla now has the Uber. They can still push this back in. They've only lost 10 seconds. It's still, I'd say, a victory in terms of... and then they're going straight back in. Carl's gonna fall. So a nice backstab by Mezzo. Going to start getting lots of space. Yeah, they're going to recapture this without much of a problem. CJ, though, however, is going to have an advantage there. And Layla's going to get body shot down by Boar as well, which is an even bigger advantage now for CJ. As they get ready to repush here. As Dima goes in for a quick bomb there. Gets the pick onto Cloudy as well. Mezzo down as well. They can push this straight in now. They don't even have to worry about this. They include the middle on the back lines. He's just zooming around so fast. He gets headshot, however, by Boar. And bye-bye included middle. Back to the respawn queue for you. As... Strong Opinions take the points, take the Uber advantage now. Looking very, very good for them at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not really liking these suicide bombs out of the Devilman from Joan, especially when like CJ's going to be with 30%. He popped Uber. They're going to have a slight advantage. I don't know if it's worth it to suicide yourself, but here we go. Uber charge from the blue side. It's going to come off, takes down Layla here early on by Toast, picks up 1 more. And that's how you use your Uber advantage, even when you control the point, is you just walk across, you get the frags, and you back up. And this is when Strong Opinions won their rounds. When they were able to get set up like this, when they were able to consistently hold their Uber advantage, it was worked out in their favor. So Melk's going to come out. Grant's going to try to just eke out this point as Mezzo goes in for a play, but with no distraction, he doesn't end up finding anything. But the point does go down in the favor of Feila, and Strong Opinions, because they use that Uber aggressively, the respawns came up quickly for Feila, and now they're actually even, and they control the point. So what seemed to be a good play out of Strong Opinions actually kind of works against them out of Feila's aggression off of it.
Yeah, they can't be losing too many players on that push just due to how long the respawns are when you have the point. So that really was a fatal for them, a bit of an error, I would say. But they are going to reclaim it nonetheless. They've got that aggression still, and it's just going to be Poker there. He's just dodging Boar. Not gonna be enough though. He can't do it forever, but he is gonna get backstabbed by Mezzo. No sniper might open up a possibility for Feila to get in here now. They're coming on to 100%. They don't want to waste any time. They're not afraid to dry push as well. They're gonna get straight in here, capping the point. No one's dealing with Toast. Goes down. Poker as well. In fact, loads of frags for Strong Opinions there. Layla popped far too late in my opinion there, and Carl's gonna get a good 3k. They're gonna have to back out. Layla just needs to leave, but she's going to get headshot by Boar, who was on the respawn there, just getting out. Not before he was able to get Cloudy as well. And yeah, Strong Opinions going to repush this and reclaim the point with ease.
Yeah, I mean, Layla just a little bit too passive there when trying to contest that point. I mean, obviously it just comes from being scared of Boar, but got disconnected from your demo as well as your engineer, so it was left to only just Uber a scout, which wasn't going to do much in that situation. Melking is great, but Melking only is good if you are able to, be able to Uber actually people. And so here we go, the aggression's coming out. CJ doesn't have Uber yet, only at 75%. Feila doing exactly what they need to do, which is just capture this point, put some contesting on here as Dima comes in over the top, does take Layla down once again. And this is seeming to be the swan song for Feila, as every round they lost Feila a ton. That is when they lost, and CJ able to keep his life at 100% and have the time advantage.
Absolutely, they have their minutes closer to victory than Feila at the moment there, and that's going to make a big deal. Strane actually able to get that pick onto a disc. He's going to slow down the push potentially, but Dima's fast in, taking that space on Cliff, and now they're going to be walking straight back. Layla getting sniped once again. Joan and Strane as well, just 1, 2, 3. One of them was Toast, but regardless, still insane plays by both Boar and Toast there, and like just completely just putting the combo back into the respawn queue there. Boar finally going to get stabbed. The damage has already been done. They've got to start walking onto the point now. It is now panic time, sigafoo. Only 20 seconds left. They just want to walk onto the point. They're going to do anything they can. The Uber's going to come out, try and save their players. Good call. They don't want to lose too many players here, so you want to use it nice and early before you risk losing too many players. But with only 7 seconds left now, it's going to be down to the last-ditch efforts here. They're going to be walking back onto point. They haven't got to worry about an Uber, at least. Carl managed to go down. They're actually going to get the point as it goes into overtime, so clutching it in the nick of time. They're Joan going to get sniped by Boar, however, though. Boar going down himself to a pistol whip by Mezzo, and they're going to hold on to it. Layla, actually now with 80% advantage, it could still be done, sigafoo. It definitely could still be done for...
Yeah, we need a feast. Feila has one thing on their mind: perfection, because that's all they can do. They can't give up this point. They have the Uber advantage, but they can't lose players in really dumb ways. They just no suicides here. Play smart, play around your combo, do what you need to do. Dima going in way in alone. That's bad play out of him, as he did create a distraction, but it was just a little bit too early from the rest of his team. Sex going in here on the enemy team. He does at least take down the sniper as Uber gets popped off onto Crayon. That's going to give a nice advantage back in the favor of CJ. They do defend this point and keep most of their players alive, but at what cost? Losing that Uber advantage is just going to allow CJ to push back in here whenever he wants to. They need to take down Boar, do something to try to contest this. Layla's holding a traditional position, and here we go. Uber charge coming out for Funds. How many frags can they pick up right now? Funds is walking across the point. It's times 3 onto. They need to contest this. Joan gets taken out. Strono's going to push back in here, but it's not going to be enough, and there you go. It is going to be Strong Opinions taking it in the grand finals in the 3rd round.
Oh, what a match that we have seen today, ladies and gentlemen. Speechless, really. Commiserations to Feila eSports, who will be taking their 2nd place medal home with them, but such an admirable effort from every single one of them there. I mean, they made their first debut in Prem playoffs this season, and they not only made that, they actually made their debut finals. Coming 2nd place is still a tremendous effort from a very hard-working team, and definitely deserve a round of applause there. But congratulations to Strong Opinions. They will be retaking their crown, which they had lost for the past 2 seasons to SDCK, so they're back on the top spot now, and yeah, I mean, very well deserved at the same time. Some insanely good active plays there, and yeah, we'll be excited to see how they want to play out in the future of European Highlander.
Yeah,
and,
it was good.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, we've got a bit of time. We're going to go into the logs now. I'll try and bring them on my screen. They should be up for you guys very shortly, if not already. And, wow, products. So, wow, Boar. 58 to 30, 592 DPM, and 73 headshots. Holy jeez, Louise. I don't even know, sigafoo. Like, he's just on another level, to be honest, isn't he?
He really is. I mean, when that man gets on fire, I mean, well, it's just like when that man's protected more than anything else. If Boar is protected, which I feel like that was the whole game plan, particularly out of Synrise, is when Strong Opinions got up, Synrise was just on spy duty. Where's Mezzo? What can I do to deal with Mezzo? Because Mezzo was just so consistently being a thorn in their sides, and you can see that when the spy, is on the 2nd fragging in the game, despite all of Strong Opinion being up. I mean, spy is hard to play when the enemy team is up. But when you can still 2nd frag, I mean, Mezzo's doing everything he can, as long with Cloudy, both stepping up for their team. But I mean, Boar's doing really well. But I mean, it still was their game to win. Really, it's if you look at the deaths, though, that's where this really comes into play. As Layla, 20 deaths compared to CJ's 12, though Layla has actually a little bit more assists for her team kind of working out there. But, if you look at it, it really was Dima and Boar doing work, taking down Layla combined 14 times. You can't really do too much about, Boar. That just comes down to positioning and calls. You can't really do too much about that. But Dima seemed to be much more of a thorn in their sides this round compared it to Coalplant, where they really had their strategy down about, making Strono was there to protect their medic against those bombs. But, yeah, I mean, Boar. I mean, but I think that's the craziest thing. If you look at the damage, it's the spy, the demo, the sniper for Feila, but it's just Boar was just so on fire when they were up that it was just. I mean, what do you do? You can't get to him. Like, what do you do?
I think that's exactly right. I think Boar more or less won that, consistently denying manpower for Feila there. You know, he was every single time Feila wants to push, Ball would get at least one, maybe two, three picks easily, and you know it would just completely shut down that aggression. They couldn't hold on to it. I mean, they could maybe get the point, but not for long enough because straight away. Strong Opinions were able just to roll back in and do a ton of work, but at the end of the day, you know, it's not all about Ball. Let's give some praise to my boy Mezzo here. 40-34, ladies and gentlemen, spy of the season. Yeah, definitely, everyone vote for him. He certainly deserves it. I think it's one of his second seasons in Prem, and he's just absolutely annihilating. So, you know, seriously, well played to him as well. Funds, Joan. You know what? Actually, I'm going to say everyone, more or less I think has been doing so well. I don't think there were too many slip-ups from either team, which is a nice thing to see. I think a lot of it was more just the fact that there was just some insane plays from so many players that was able to make it such a close game. There were no huge errors, and that's really great to see in the grand final.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a really close game overall. I mean, it's just a shame that it took so long for Feila to kind of figure out how to play on Wiethoofd, because I think, you know, if they just, you know, if that second round, I think is where they really needed to pick it back up. But either way, as you said, really great match, fantastic grand finals. I don't think anybody can really be too sad about the outcome of that. I mean, you're going to be upset, obviously, if you're on the losing side, but still, you put up just such a great fight, and especially when, you know, a lot of people put Feila at the disadvantage to some degree. They still really gave it to Strong Opinions, and it was a great one. But I think we can take it over here to interviews if we want to bring those guys in.
Absolutely, and we'll be joined today by team leader of Strong Opinions and medic main CJ. Also joining us is scouts for Feila eSports and engineer for Feila eSports, Crayon and Zamparonie respectively. So let's start off with the losers. Zamparonie, the biggest loser here. How are you today? How do you feel about that? Oh, nothing, man, nothing.
All right, I guess I'm feeling good.
I mean, you did so well on Coalplant, by the way. I just want to commend you for that. You did excellent performance there.
I mean, if teams are not able to turn around, you know, what should you do?
Quite right, man. Quite right. Well, yeah. I mean, did you guys? I mean, this is just a joint question. Did you guys really ever expect you two to get this far? I mean, this is your first debut playoff season, and it's your first time in the grand final. Did you ever expect this to happen? Really?
Well, we aimed for for playoffs basically, because we knew we could beat like Envision, Lacrosse, or Chess Club. They were like, you know, no match pretty much. But yeah, we thought like playoffs and we're Gucci, nothing to worry about. And then like we beat SCCK 6-0, which was pretty good as well. And like losing like head to head pretty much against SO. Second place with this roster, I believe, first season. Completely fine with it.
Very nice. Yeah, I mean, it's very good to see. I was very impressed by Feila's performance, how they've improved since some of the seasons beforehand that we've casted, and so yeah, definitely a force to be reckoned with now. But alas, we'll only take second place, but in first is Strong Opinions, and yeah. So CJ. Hey, how are you doing today? I mean, it must be nice to have your crown back.
It is nice, yeah. Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it?
Well, it has, hasn't it? I mean, do you think you would have had the same result against SDCK?
It's hard to say, really, because we haven't scrimmed like at all this season, so we never really kind of knew how we matched up against the other teams, other than when we played them in officials. So it's kind of hard to kind of assess at what level you are. We scrimmed against Feila last week, but again, we had like 3 mercs. So that was the first time we tried scrimming. And then we were like, okay, we'll just see what happens on the day. Get all of the mains in and kind of come in. But we had like a decent regular season game against SCCK. So I think, I think regardless of who we had, everyone was on fire today at one point or another. So it should have gone well.
Yeah, everyone playing so well for Strong Opinions there. I mean, bit of a rough interlude, you could call it, on Coalplant. Really, I looking at it from an analyst point of view, I was looking at it and thinking, Feila seemed to be the only team I've seen in a while that are playing on that left side. Do you think that was a problem for you guys?
On Coalplant?
Coalplant, yeah.
Yeah, because we played them like week 4, week 5. It was kind of we didn't really kind of scrim the map. We didn't know how to approach it, and they had a really strong hold where they just played around Cloudy. And we've kind of found it difficult. We did beat them, like, when we scrimmed them last week with Mercs on that map, and we kind of played a different way. And today, I still don't think we had an idea of how to play it. We were kind of in between two ideas of what to do. And I think when we went down a couple of rounds, we did kind of get it together, but then everyone starts getting a little bit desperate and just got to try to refocus. We never really grasped it back. When it's a map you're more familiar with, it's easier to get back into the game. But when it's something that's pretty new to all of us, I mean, Carl and Boar don't really play Coalplant either in NA, so it's kind of a new thing for them too. So yeah, we just didn't have the experience on it, I guess.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were saying actually about Feila. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like it's a map that you've played a lot in scrims, that you've warmed up from it, and at the same time it's not one of these mainstream maps that's played every season. It's a little less popular. And do you think that was a choice by Joan to maybe try and get the edge on some of these maps that aren't played as commonly by old experienced teams such as Strong Opinions?
Sorry, could you say that again?
No, actually, that was actually to Feila.
Oh yeah. Well, I think we kind of thought as a map we can kind of play it without having to 1v1 people, and we knew that the 1v1s were where we would probably end up suffering. So we basically just left our right flank open, and I played top left and middle just bombed, and it kind of works for us, especially against Strong Opinions, I guess, because they're probably the strongest DM team.
Quite right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I saw that kind of decision to play more or less permanently on the left side. I didn't see a single player even really go into under. To be honest, I didn't see a single player on balcony much. So, I mean, I guess if it works for you and it's kind of hard to counter, I've never seen another team play quite like that. So, I guess not many teams are going to know exactly how to counter it. And by the time they might have learned, they might already be 2 rounds down. So, good decision making from there. Before we wrap this up, though, well, this is one for Strong Opinions. Do you think the Feila would have taken this one if it was in a LAN environment?
No.
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 Are you willing to put that to the test?
If someone's willing to pay for Boar and Carl to come over from the West Coast, then sure.
Yeah, of course you need your NA carries. Of course you do. Well, maybe something up in the air for Easter. So, maybe if the Easter Bunny's extra nice, you can get some of those plane tickets over for Boar and Carl, because God knows you're going to need them. Anyway, guys, thanks so much, everyone, for popping over and talking to us. It's been a really great game, and you can all give yourself a pat on the back for truly incredible performance from everyone. So thanks very much to Strong Opinions for taking the first place in a very, very close finals there, and commiserations to Feila, but we hope to see them back at it again next season and maybe for a more successful run. But thanks very much, guys. And before we wrap up, sigafoo, any more shout-outs?
I have some shout-outs, I guess.
Oh, you have some shout-outs. Go ahead, Zamparonie.
Shout out to Dankwa, first of all. Shout out to the chat. This was the most autistic thing I have ever seen so far in my life. Special shout out to Exosolar, obviously.
I've got a long list of shout-outs, if you don't mind.
Go for it, man.
So I don't know if our team's coming back at all. This probably be the end of us, because there was a lot of people who didn't really want to play this season, but they did for to try and win that one last time. So for everyone who's played this season, Funds and Adiski and Boy, everyone who's proper put in shifts, the Americans who've had to get up at random times, Sek, who at one point was playing on a broken computer which had purple all over his screen, so he couldn't even see what was going on, and everybody who's played this season. Everyone who's played for our team in the past as well, Amelia and Steve, The Lash, Ali, Corv, all those guys. It's really weird to think that we won't play anymore, but it's been really fun, really fun few years, and obviously going to keep in touch with everyone, and who knows, something may happen next season, but it doesn't look very likely. So yeah, I just want to say thanks to everybody, obviously to SDCK as well. I've heard that they're no longer a thing, so they gave us some good runs the past few seasons. And obviously to Feila as well, they've done a really good job. They really put us to the test today. I think a bit harder than we thought they would. And thank you guys for casting. I look forward to watching it tomorrow.
Wonderful, and yeah, well, I mean, good luck with the everyone's future who's been on the team. Good job in being able to come back for a final season and take victory there. Crayon, you got any shout outs, buddy?
Yeah. Shout out to the Swamp, and shout out to my fellow Feila flank members, because we owned, and Joe let us down, and Zamparonie.
Right.
Yes.
I
And
have
who else
something
is
to
here?
add actually as well.
Go on, Zamparonie.
Also here.
I forgot, of course, the important shout out. Shout out to Police Squad.
Yeah, well, we don't really. No.
I don't care.
No.
Fuck off.
Don't want to hear that. We'll move on to Synrise. Zamparonie, you can't have any more shout outs now.
Okay, I'm gonna give a shout out to everybody from SO, from Chess Club, from TC Ambition, and from the Turbo Club 9, all my previous teams, all the way from Div 6 up to first play in Prem. So, shout out to them. And to you guys.
Lovely. And finally, sigafoo.
Just shout out to thank you guys for bringing me on. It's fun to get another cast up here, and then of course shout out to my North American League RGL.GG, which is we're just starting up season 3 for a $4,000 prize pool with the free to enter league. So any Americans who are listening out up there definitely should go get signed up and play some Prolander, and maybe we'll get some EU Prolander action going on here pretty shortly. So keep your eyes out for that.
Absolutely. We will be keeping our eyes out for that. One other thing to keep your eyes out for, folks, will be the following KritzKast news for a potential Highlander LAN. I was kind of alluding to it there earlier, and so yeah, it is up in the air at the moment, but keep your eyes posted. We'll have more news on that shortly, but that is going to wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed tonight's match as much as we have. And I mean, if you are interested in these casts and stuff like that, we are always on the lookout for new production teams and casting crew and stuff like that. So we can put some links down in the Discord if you're interested and get in contact with us and whatnot. But otherwise, guys, thank you so much. I have been Chando. I've been joined by the wonderful sigafoo and Wiethoofd on Productions. And until next time, take care and goodbye.
Hi, old beaver! Away!